We are live, people, live. I don't know why this damn this damn system doesn't like to be heard. I'm confused as hell. I'm a little taken back by that. So we're gonna try our best, see what we can make it do. Hopefully we got something going. Let me know if you can hear me. Because right now this is BS to the utmost. Okay, thank you for letting me know because this thing has been atrocious. I don't know. It's something about that Apple update. It's not really taking the StreamYards too well, but we'll try it. Oh man, back in stride again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification. If you got unsubscribed, please subscribe again. And we are supported by viewers like you. See, I know a lot of people still in this Anton and Corey Holcomb shit, but I'm gonna tell you. The one thing about warfare people forget, there's always a nigga who's willing to go deeper and more. You know, this is the problem with a lot of people. Everybody's the tough guy. It's real bad about the tough guy. People are going to talk their shit. It's kind of crazy because, masculinity and its true form and true essence, let's be real, is about patience. It's about dexterity. It's about getting a job done. Honestly, that's what it's about. Getting the job done. See, I'm not one for disrespect. I don't want to be disrespected. I don't want to be disrespectful. But I'll tell you one thing: if you disrespect me, don't ask for my help. I mean, unless you touch me, I'm not gonna touch you. But I'll tell you one thing: you're good as dead to me. And I think that's the harsh reality to a lot of Negroes out there: is that what happens when you find a man with a standard? What happens when you find a man who says, "Nah, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You're dead to me." You can fucking starve in my face, and I wouldn't defecate for you to eat, and I wouldn't urinate on you if you were thirsty. See, what happens when you know what's even more dangerous than selling wolf tickets? Is silence. You get my drift? Silence. Silence is more dangerous than selling wolf tickets. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what anybody thinks. Silence is the ultimate killer. Because if you really want to be honest, you really want to be honest, if I laugh off your greatest insults and treat them as they're nothing, what power do you have over me? None. 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 What's up, simply? You got to think about it. People think about disrespect. You got a right to say what's on your mind, but you also have the right to deal with the consequences that's set forth. You don't have a right how I react to that disrespect either. So motherfuckers can really starve for all I fucking care. What's up, Snowman? I'm chilling, man. Motherfuckers can really starve because in 2026 it's a whole Joe nuts doctrine, and that's a fact. That's a whole Joe nuts doctrine. I don't give a fuck with anybody's bad story. I don't give a fuck about anybody's bad fucking time. Hold your own nuts like I have to. Be an adult. Stop running to mommy. Stop running to daddy and take some goddamn responsibility. I don't give a fuck who hears it, who knows it, and who it is. Anybody that don't like that doctrine, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. See, when people talk about real men don't have to yell. We don't have to pontificate. We don't have to beat our chest like the proverbial gorillas. We don't have to roar like the metaphorical lion. Be about it. Fuck out of my face. I think that's what's the ultimate part about it. A lot of motherfuckers want to be men, but you want to be a freeloader. You want to be a leech. You ain't do a goddamn thing that ever benefited mankind ever in your goddamn sorry ass life. See, men don't have to fucking negotiate. See, there's a lot of people on this planet who forgot who the fuck I am. And who the fuck I am is not a nice guy. Deep down inside, I'm not. And I don't think men should be nice to anybody unless they're cordial with you. Think about it. We live already in a society where bitches think they're better than you. We already live in a society where white men think they rule you. Why should I be nice? Why can't I just say, get the fuck away from me? And in totality, when we say this shit, we have to realize something. I'm not going up on anybody's chat to troll. Never been about that trolling shit. I don't care for trolls my damn self. Everybody got a beef, but what happens when beef is for dinner? What happened? What happened when the fuck you doctrine kicks in? I told many a niggas, when I flip, don't expect a return on the invite. I tell a lot of people up here, you keep fucking around with grown men, the grown men are going to react a certain way. Do I believe in women and children out of it? Most of the time. Most of the time, I think women and children stay out of arguments. But when you got people like Anton trying to make a buck off of shit, don't know who the fuck you're offending, don't know how petty a motherfucker could be, sleeping dogs don't lie. Sleeping dogs don't lie. I'm the first to tell a nigga that. People offend people and don't know who the fuck you're offending. People say a lot of shit. I'm playing chess. I'm walking around. No, this is the type of bullshit people want to be on. Allow it. Allow it. You want your viral moments? Allow it. It's kind of funny when we talk about masculinity. Everybody's got to be hardcore. Everybody's got to be tough. Who are you trying to fucking impress? I really wonder what happened to masculinity in the last 10 years. Oh, you goddamn right. What's up, ABM? Prepare for my arrival. See, I understand Invincible's the main character. That's the only reason he survived that ass whooping from Conquest. Because Conquest brutalized him. And I like to bring up the conquest story because once again, you got a young motherfucker talking to an old motherfucker greasy and didn't know what the fuck he was in. And the only way that young motherfucker survived was plot armor for being the main character. The fucked up part about this is look at all the young people, especially the fatherless lot. Can't throw a punch, can't debate your fucking narrative, can't do shit but whine like a little bitch. But then you're supposed to think the world owe you shit, take care of you, feel pity on me. Man, fuck you. That's what I think about the world. Fuck you. And see, this is part of the fucking real world niggas don't like. Niggas will talk their shit and realize they up shit's creek without a paddle. Oh, that's mean. You gotta be. No, fuck all that. Fuck anybody who supports that clown shit. Be about your goddamn shit. Be about your goddamn shit. I'm not going back and forth with motherfuckers who can't grow a beard. I'm not going back and forth with no bitches who don't fuck me, make me money, or have some good advice. Or can't put a nigga on with some fucking stacks. I think a lot of us have a lot of people in our lives we need to say, the fuck you hold your own nuts. There's a lot of times you see dumb motherfuckers out there selling tickets, and you catch a motherfucker on a real bad day, and it's fucking curtains for you. Leave that motherfucker the fuck alone. Especially if he's not in the mood to talk to you. Not in a fucking mood. See, this is the whole time. I could tell if a motherfucker been around men. But you know, people think, oh, it's because you don't like Anton. So what? I don't, I don't. I do, I do. But here's my thing. You couldn't get none of your boys to come with you. You couldn't get your brothers, your nephews, your cousins. Do I think Corey backed down? Yeah. I'm the first person to tell you he backed down. Well, if it's for his money or not, that's still a back down. Just like you didn't hear whatchamacallit say the dick sucking part. But as men, we got to put a fine line on a lot of shit being taught. A fine line. Too many goddamn people don't know how to approach a situation cordially. And that's one of the biggest problems in America. There's a lot of niggas who still be alive if they came with some goddamn sense and respect. People be like, oh, you don't know the streets. Nigga, I had to answer a call for a nigga who got shot 6 times in the head with a 357 Magnum. But you claimed you so tough. When did you hear me claim I'm so tough? I'm not a tough guy, I just did tough shit. That's the difference. I don't have to announce my shit to the world. See, I don't have to tell people I'm gonna beat their ass. Ask the people who saw me in action and work with me and ask about me. You ever notice that? The people who are about their business, people tell their stories. You ever know the people who are trying to make something of themselves? They gotta tell their stories. Oh yeah, I know. It was almost preordained. 5 years, 100 mil. Good for them. See, this whole shit about masculinity has been so bastardized that it makes me sick to my fucking core. I'm tough. No, I'm tough. No, I'm tough. You know what's really tough? Tough is going out in fucking freezing temperature and working. Tough is going to a bunch of ungrateful motherfuckers in a house and taking care of them. That's tough. That's tough. Here it is. I'm a gangster. That shit you see in Detroit and Chicago and Baltimore, that's not tough. You're pulling out guns on unarmed people, unsuspecting people. Tough is when that motherfucker is prepared for you. They're coming for you, or you're engaging them. That's tough. Tough is being on the right and narrow path, the straight and narrow, and resisting the urges of being a delinquent, being a leech on society, being a criminal. That's tough. Contributing to your fellow man. That's tough. But nobody wants to talk about that. Tough is doing the right thing without anybody watching you. Tough is getting up 3 o'clock in the morning, exercising, getting yourself in shape. Tough is getting up when you're battling some goddamn life threatening disease and taking another step of defeating it. That's tough. Tough is a single goddamn parent doing it. Not because they chose badly, it's because of circumstances. And don't even have to go for child support. Don't even have to badmouth the other parent. Notice I didn't say male nor female. That's tough. Tough is going to a thankless job to put food on the table. Tough is getting your fucking degree, trade, or whatever, despite not being popular with ungrateful broads. Tough isn't some fucking bravado. That's cheap. That's lazy. That's filth. That's filth. Nobody wants to bring that up. It's actually fucking devastating. But we got a problem with actual toughness. We got a problem with men of caliber. This is the problem. The most conservative guy in this space is Sandog. He's conservative, but you never see him conservative before his blackness. He has one of the most conservative religions on earth, and he lives in one of the most conservative countries on earth. But he's not insufferable. He's not a coon. He's not talking down upon his people. He's trying to bring the motherfuckers up. That's tough. Look at ABM, married man with kids, adult and teenage, working hard, tough, electrician full, tough. You fight fucking you work on electrical anything. Appliances, telephone poles, circuit breakers. You you're so close to death if you fuck up, you don't even know it. You'll be dead before you hit the ground. Ask them. Ask them how dangerous that shit can be if you fuck around and play with it. Oh, we could go outside. That ain't tough. That ain't tough. Tough is for your people. Oh yeah, we got a link coming. Give me 1 second. Get this link back up. Anybody wants to come up? Here's the link. See, when I keep talking about this tough and what is toughness, a lot of people don't want to hear that shit. Because toughness, you have to literally endure. It's really crazy about the toughness. Here's the link. It's really crazy when you talk about this toughness. That's the link for anybody coming up. Because nobody ever tells you what real toughness is for a man, especially a black man. It's not about starting a fight. It's not about fighting. It's about due fucking diligence. Esprit de corps, as we say. Hey, Captain Jack, meet me down
What's
by the
going on,
railroad bed.
Chuck?
What's up? With that
Nothing.
45 in your hand?
You're gonna be a killing man,
Hmm.
a shooting man,
Oh, yeah.
an
Shit.
army
We got our old coach.
man. But you
He's
know,
getting paid well.
but remember, Charles. This is a conversation you and I had a very long time ago,
Oh, yeah.
and this is part of the reason why the majority of people miss something like the Man of Steel,
Yeah.
right? Because there is a misunderstanding of what heroism and masculinity is. And then to your point, masculinity, heroism, these things are virtues, right? And so
Mhm.
you got to remember what a lot of people don't understand. Like if you take Man of Steel, because I want to go to the toughness part as well. When a lot of people, what was people's biggest complaints about Man of Steel was that
Too
Superman
dark.
wasn't
Too
being
dark.
nice. Correct.
Oh,
He didn't smile. He didn't take a cat from a tree. But the entire time he was demonstrating virtue, right? And so virtue is something that is demonstrated before it can become story or canonical or philosophy. It must be first be demonstrated, right? So when his father said, one day you're going to have to make a choice to either stand proudly in front of humanity or not, right? This is something that will be pushed through his actions. And so a lot of people missed the point that what makes you a Superman is not acts of superficiality, but the actual actions that you take. So, to your very point, being tough is doing things that ensures your survival and the survival of people under your care, whether you want to do it or not. So being tough is going to work when you're tired, right? I remember Cam Ward. They were asking Cam Ward about his approach to the NFL. And Cam Ward said, I watched my
I just
father.
speak up a little bit so they can hear you.
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
see if I can. I'll see if I can turn your mic up a little bit. Uh, Let me see. Let me turn your mic up. Try it now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you're great.
Okay.
Continue.
So
Keep loving. We loving it. We loving it.
yeah, and so Cam Ward said what? Cam Ward said, I watch my father get up early in the morning every day and do a job for years that he didn't like so that I could be what I am today. I watch my father. Many of us watched our fathers get up for years and go to places that they didn't like or deal with people that they didn't like, right? So we can have Lucky Charms on Saturday morning and a Nintendo for Christmas, right? And so when you talk about being tough, right, or when you talk about even being a hero, it's the small everyday actions that you take that makes you this. It's not some act of grandeur, right? So when people talk about Superman and his secret identity, and people say, well, how come it's obvious that he's Superman? And I was like, yeah, but what happens is that the average man does heroic things every day in plain sight and nobody notices it. And because the average man is a hero, because the average man gets up and for the sake of society does things that he doesn't want to do, we all have the type of prosperous life that we have. So I was telling people that from my perspective, Superman's secret identity comes from the fact that, to your point, heroism happens on a daily basis in plain sight. When they say again, not all heroes wear capes, right? So, when you go to the gym when you don't want to, that's being tough, right? When when you go to work when you don't want to, when you're studying for that certification, right? And you'd rather be playing Madden 26, right? That is
Yeah.
tough, right? The ability, because to tell you the truth, even in today's world, right? When you look at men, and women, human beings, the ability to overcome negative liberty, right? In today's time, the ability to say that my vices are not virtues, that's tough, right? That's being tough. Simple self-control is toughness, right? Again, Black America today is in trouble. Why? Because there are a lot of people who can't look at their penis and tell it no, right? And
Yeah.
Islam, the Prophet Muhammad said this. He said, one of the things he said, peace be upon him, he said, if you could control your mouth, your stomach, and below your waist, you will avoid the majority of problems in life.
Yeah. Think about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to read some of my story in the email. I'll send you a couple of chapters to get your opinion.
Okay.
So far, Artisan and Lost, they love it. They're
Okay.
very intrigued by it. I'm pretty sure you'll
Ah.
love it too. Think
Okay.
about it, right? One of the characters, not giving too much away because you know people steal shit,
Mm-hmm.
is a 9 foot tall giant who has the equivalent of a PhD in theological studies. He has Titan level strength, and the greater his faith and conviction, the greater his power and strength becomes. Does that sound like tough to you?
Hmm.
Does that sound like somebody who's tough? The main hero, powerful as he may be, you might like his name though.
Yeah.
He has the strength to move planets, but his greatest strength is what? His resolve, his restraint. In
Correct.
the black community, just to piggyback off of what you said, we lost resolve, we lost faith, we lost conviction, we lost fortitude.
Huh.
It's like this one guy, I follow, whose black guy talks about MMA. He's about almost 50 years old. The reason why you don't have too many brothers going to MMA, and I agree with him, discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to learn all those styles.
Correct.
It takes a lot of struggle. Argon, that's where we get the word agony from. It takes a lot of agony to be in a combat sport. We make the greatest sports that are so fucking easy to do the most highest paid.
Mhm.
I want you to think about that. There's people, and I'm not knocking any ball sports. Some of them I'm a fan of, some of them I'm not. But have you noticed a lot of our great American boxers we don't have anymore? They're going to become tight ends.
You know, though, you said something. It's so crazy you said that. Because I was talking to Nameless a couple of days ago. And I said, because I played high school football. And I said, Nameless, if I could do, and hand to God, if Nameless was here, he'd tell you, right? And I think Nayama, the same. I said, if I could jump back into my 15-year-old body all over again, I said, hand to God. I said, instead of playing football, my goal would have been to be a heavyweight champion in boxing, then the heavyweight champion in UFC. Back, it was called Ultimate Fighter then, right?
Yep.
A heavyweight champion in UFC, and then finally a gold medal freestyle wrestler in the Olympics, and then that would have been my career. I told I told neighbors and
Yeah.
I hand to God. I said I could do it all over again. And I said, shout out the football, shout out the basketball. But if I could do it all over again, I would have went the route of boxing, MMA back then, which was called back then it was called Ultimate Fighter, UFC, and then I would have gone to become an Olympic wrestler, and then
Yeah.
that would have been my career. Like what you said, I would have stayed I would have stayed. What we call it, pugilistic sports. Is that
Yeah,
what
the
it's called?
pugilistic, the combat sports.
Yeah, I would have, and I would have. That's exactly where I would have been.
I
And it's
felt so much freedom. The two
yeah,
times I felt my greatest freedom was on that mat, not only in Baltimore and all around Maryland, but also when I wrestled in Germany. And the first person they gave me was a goddamn Russian, and I beat him 12-4. You woke up the lion.
yeah. But
You
it's not even
couldn't
the
go
fun
ahead.
part. The fun part, what I will tell so many young men, especially in grappling or martial arts, at some point, like when you run, you get a runner's high. You get what's called the bug. It happened to me when I first did BJJ, and like a month went by, and I'll be at work, and I'm like, damn, man, last night I should have did this instead of did that. So when I tried to do a hip escape and I gave him my back, that's when he came around with the grab. Then he put me in the Kimura, and then from a Kimura he armbarred me. Then okay, when I go to class tonight, I'm gonna do this. When he does that, you know, say again, it becomes. You know what I'm saying? Again, it actually becomes something very fun to do, and it becomes an obsession. And I sent you something yesterday, right? And so it was a bunch of guys commenting, in a sense, kind of mocking the character of Gohan on the Dragon Ball series, right? And talking about, again, how he did not come off as tough as Vegeta, Goku, and the other characters. And I had put it to you guys, and I said this is why I know this is fiction, but this is why I don't like men who have never tasted warriorhood to comment on certain things, because at the end of the day, for Gohan, it was a matter. For Gohan, it's always been a matter of restraint. Gohan
Mm-hmm.
feared his anger more than anything else. And then I sent you a clip. I promise you, if you go on WhatsApp right now, you'll find it. And I sent you a on Bruce Lee in the beginning of Enter the Dragon, when the guy said, "What's your fighting style?" And Bruce Lee said, "It's the art of fighting without fighting." And the guy was like, "Well, I want to challenge you." And Bruce Lee was like, "Well, if you want to see my style, just get in the boat and I'll show you." So the guy got in the boat, and what did Bruce Lee do? He untied the boat and let the guy drift the sea by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, "See, the style of fighting without fighting." And the guy was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, let me back on the ship." And Bruce Lee said, "Hey, if you reach for the boat, if you reach for it, I'll let it go." And so, despite everything that Bruce Lee could do, what did he do? Right? Despite everything that he did, he found a way to win a fight without fighting.
Yeah, you got to outsmart people.
And you
And see,
have to,
that's the part. That's the part that's missing in the black community for the black male. We do not treasure intellectual prowess.
yes.
It's not. It's almost laughable.
No. So even when you get to that discussion with Anton Daniels and Corey, right? So if you're
Mm-hmm.
Anton Daniels, right, or well, if you're Corey, if you're knowledgeable of history, you know that he's missing facts, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and the problem, one of the things that we have is that we don't understand the virtue of people's argument. So when Anton said, "Well, what is it that you niggas want?" That is a valid question, because for Black America, because you've had so many different ideas, Black America has never ever agreed on a universal approach, right, to deal with the problems that we've had. There's always been several approaches. And because there have been several approaches, there have always have been several outcomes, right? And so, like, for example, if you look at a lot of Black politics, a lot of Black politics will have the rhetoric of revolution, but then talk about reform. And it's like, no, fam, you gotta either shit or get off the pot. Either you're going to have a revolution, or either you're going to pursue reform, right? So some people say, "Oh, well, Booker T. Washington was a sellout because he wanted Black men to push brooms." No, Booker T. Washington believed in gradualism, right? So gradualism and reform go hand in hand. Revolution revolution and reform don't go hand in hand. When you're having a revolution, you're looking to completely overthrow or change a system, right? And those are, and like I said, and those are two different things, right? And so if you're, if you're Black America, that's kind of the paradox that you're in, because you talk revolution, but you use the tools of reform, which from my perspective is a completely lukewarm approach, right? So you're either, like I said, you're either one thing or not. And so, since most people don't want a revolution because revolution is extraordinarily expensive, since most people don't want a revolution, then you have to understand that you are now looking at gradualism, and gradualism and any form of sustainable change is slow, right? It doesn't happen overnight, right? If I want to be a black belt and BJJ, that doesn't happen overnight. If I'm 350 pounds and I wake up and decide that I want to look like Killmonger from the first Black Panther, that's, if I'm 360 pounds, that's a 2.5 or 3 year journey. I'm not gonna do that overnight. So if I go from 360 pounds to Killmonger overnight, chances are I'm trying to do it under a night, and chances are I'll make myself an organ donor, right? By skipping steps in that process. So any form of sustainable or real change is slow, right? And obviously, if and if you want to change your environment, you first have to change yourself, right? Because by changing yourself, you're also changing your self-perception and value to others, right? Simultaneously. And so the thing is that, to your point, right? What we think as tough isn't tough, right? For the sake of it. Toughness is resilience, right? Is the resilience that's required to facilitate discipline and for yourself and protection over others. This is what toughness is, right? And so by itself being tough is not a virtue. By itself being nice is not a virtue. These things have to be demonstrated with self-control being one. As sad and most unfortunately, right, one of the things that hurts Black America is that people are messianic with their philosophies, right? With the understanding of what I think and feel is the way that we should go. When actually, as you and I know, Charles, the battlefield is a complex place that has multiple solutions. So Sandog is armored cavalry. Armored cavalry is not the solution to all the things that happen on the battlefield, right?
No.
Infantry is not a solution for all the things that happen on the battlefield. And I said that when I first entered the space. So if Black America went to war tomorrow, all it knows is bullets and guns and boots and maybe a tank. But what you don't know is that you require personnel. What you don't know is you require admin. What you don't know is that you require logistics. What you don't know is that you require transportation. What you don't know is that you require communication, intelligence, right? All these, like I said, all these different things, right? And so the Army, when it goes to war, all of the branches within the Army, from infantry, armored reconnaissance, all the way down to civil affairs, all these things act in unison as part of the war effort, right? And so for Black America, right, because you don't have a unified identity or a unified approach, you do not have unity of effort and you do not have unity of command. So now, because somebody doesn't agree with me, and from my perspective, doesn't make them a coon or a sellout, because Black America has yet to establish unity of effort or unity of command, right? And so with that, so once you're able to do that, once you have that, then we can start to have a conversation, which is why when I first came to the space, I was like, you don't have your own state. And what does that imply? If you don't have your own state, you don't have a shared identity, nor do you have a shared value system, right? So if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have any of that, what are you gonna do? So if you have somebody like me who say like, hey man, maybe we shouldn't do abortion. And then you got other people who will say, well, you can't tell me what to do. My body, my choice. Then, okay, bro. So look, good, bad, or indifferent, right? On one way, right? Hey, you believe you're protecting yourself financially, but in another way, right? You now have 20 million Black Americans missing, right? And that 20 million people is the reason why we're 14% of the population instead of 21 or 22% of the population, right? And so, like I said, so these, the things that people, like I said, the things that people value. And so sad and most unfortunately, in our society, we've been made to view superficial things as virtue, right? Again, wealth by itself is not virtue, right? You know what I'm saying? Wealth by itself is not virtue. Niceness by itself is not virtue, which is why a lot of people missed Man of Steel. Why? Because they wanted to go to a movie and they wanted to see Superman being nice. But if you're somebody who's going to stand up to evil and confront evil, right, you're not always going to be nice. Right?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, and whether you want to use force or not against said evil, you're damn sure not being nice, right? And so if you look at the Man of Steel, that he went through a lot of self-examination or self-actualization. Remember a Man of Steel when he was being bullied in front of the maintenance workshop, and his dad comes and Pete Ross helps him up, right? Which that has its own symbolism. And his dad comes to him and said, I could have beaten all those guys up one by one. And his father said, and you know what, Clark, part of me wanted you to, but then what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the one thing we don't do in the community is restraint by numbers. Keep preaching.
Yeah, but that will be a thing, right? Because I had this conversation with Gigi, and we were talking about that, and we were saying that Black America's biggest threat isn't racism or some of the things we believe it is. It is our appetite. It is our appetite for negative liberty, right?
Well,
The whole thing of that I could do what I want, when I want, as I damn well please. And so here's sad and most unfortunate, right? If I'm some girl and I'm out here fucking and I tell Charles to mind it, I was like, you can't tell me what to do. Mind your business. But when I get pregnant and I'm signing up for WIC, I now made it Charles's business. Right?
aggressive individualism.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. And so this is an American value. So individualism is a virtue within the American value system, right? But it's not when somebody believes in negative liberty, right? Because in order to have a society like America, the people have to be moral and responsible. Because remember, freedom in America is ultimately about self-governance, right? So when we talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right, we're going back to what Sandor always talks about, right? The factors of production. Freedom is when you can control land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and your family. And the United States government gives you sovereignty over these things with the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. Why? Because the price of freedom is vigilance. Once you get freedom, everybody is trying to take your freedom, from the government to your business competitors, all the way down to your family, right? So that rifle in your cold dead hands is America's way of saying, hey, this is the method, or a method, by which you will preserve your sovereignty if I, the United States, right, all enemies, foreign or domestic, come to try to take your freedom. And so, again,
100%. Well, the reason why we have the castle doctrine.
yes. And so now, because people in America only understand freedom as I get the fuck who I want when I want, that's not freedom. Right? Again, that's not freedom. In order
That's
for
choice.
our society to work, and I'll shut up, it calls for moral and disciplined people, right? Because I woke up today and decided that I wanted to fuck a goat or a peacock, right? Or marry my Bulma doll, right? That is not, like I said, that is not the type of freedom that that America was built upon. So, like I said, so if you're Black America, right, what comes out of cultural Marxism and those types of ideas and negative liberty and the lack of discipline, this is what the threat has been. My mouth is closed.
Can I come in there? Can I come in, Charles? Or you got something to say?
You have the floor. Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Big's in the building.
Hi. I was just talking about this shit. About as far as like the political landscape that we're looking at right now. This is on a in the American 50 state scale. There is look, the hours that you work from the time you clock in until the time you take lunch, that's 40% of your income. That 40% of your income goes to the federal government. You understand? That 40% from the time you clock in to the time you take lunch, that 3 hours, that's federal government income. You're paying for Leering centers, mansions in Nigeria, terrorist organizations, etc. Democratic leaders with their $3,000 suits. That's where your money goes. Trump said no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, etc. Because he knows that after lunch, that's where your real money, your real income comes in at. No tax on that. Do you understand? No tax on that. With a lot of the average IQ, but since we're on the Black channel, what a lot of Black people don't seem to understand is that your congressional federal government is ripping you off. They're ripping you off. This is why, and I did the whole Nick Shirley thing today, the importance of Scott Bessent. Do you all know who Scott Bessent is? It's okay if you don't. It's okay. You can say no. You don't know. You know who Scott Bessent is?
Go ahead. Inform me.
Scott Bessent is the Secretary of Treasury of the United States. Okay, looked like Marty McFly's father. He said last week that there's going to be an auditor, and an attorney general that's going to go through all 50 states to find out what's going on with all of our federal money. Because do understand, federal income tax is your money. That's your, from you clock in to noon to lunchtime money. That's your money. That's your money. I don't give a fuck. If they taking $600 a month out of your check, $300 every paycheck, FICA, it's coming out of your check. That's money that that $600, you want to know where that goes. If you don't, you're a dumbass. But that's your money. They want to know where that $600 is going. And if it's going somewhere that you're not approved of, because I'm pretty sure you're not trying to pay for a mansion in Nigeria for a Somalian. Understand? I mean, I know they're the scammer suit du jour, but seriously, you're not trying to pay for Ilhan Omar's fucking head wraps and shit, her $300 silk scarves and everything. You're not trying to pay for that. You ain't fucking that bitch. Do you understand? You need to know where that money is going. As a Black American, you are at the very bottom of the economic ladder on an average median household income of $54,000 a year. Yeah, Beyonce. Every bitch ain't Beyonce. And your ass show ain't no goddamn LeBron James. Ain't nobody making that type of money. 54,000 a year annual household income, despite all the entertainers, the multimillionaire black entertainers that they shove in your fucking face. You ain't making their money. Nigga, you 2 months behind on your light bill. You 2-bedroom garden apartment. You're lucky if you have a car. You got a car, you need fucking repairs. You got to fuck your oil light come on every goddamn day. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're the working poor. And your income, 40% of your fucking income, $600 a month, and I'm just averaging, is going to pay for motherfuckers who sit up here and tell you that you need to go out here and put your life on the line for criminals. Do you not understand how much of a fucking financial and psychological slave you are to people who don't give a fuck about you? What dude was saying earlier, he was 100% right. You need a reform. And reform, fucking revolution doesn't happen overnight. Just because you buy a fucking cheap ass $200 goddamn shotgun and get on TikTok talking about some safe flight repairs, safe flight repair, that don't make you no fucking revolutionary. You a bitch. These motherfucking ICE agents will snipe your ass at 3:00 in the fucking morning and be standing outside of McDonald's waiting to get a goddamn McGriddle at 6 a.m. While you talking like you tough. You a bitch. You are a bitch. You really want to change shit? You really want to change your life or whatnot? Get your ass out here. First and foremost, get rid of the illegals. They dump these criminal pieces of shit, these leeching parasite fuckers in your poor black neighborhoods. They don't dump them in white neighborhoods. They don't dump them in Inglewood and any other well-to-do white neighborhood, wherever the fuck you live. They dump them in the poorest of black societies in every neighborhood that allows them. And whether they're criminals or not, the ones that are actually here to work, you know what happens? You know how when a job says competitive wages, but the competitive wage is less than minimum wage? As somebody who worked hotels for 25 years, when they say competitive wage, mainly housekeeping, $9 an hour, do you know why they pay $9 an hour instead of the mandated federal minimum wage, which is what, 15? It's been 15 for a while. You know why they don't pay you that? Because they pay illegals first, and they cheat the illegals. Pay them $8, $9 an hour. So here you are as a poor black person, desperate for money, and you got to scrub the shit out of somebody's toilet and change their cum and shit and piss stained sheets for $9 an hour for damn near 9-10 hours a day. Because that's competitive wages. But if you got rid of the illegals, you would be getting paid no less than $15 an hour, which in all honesty, considering how the average rent is about $1,600 a month across the USA, that's a level, at least you can afford your 2-bedroom garden apartment, especially if you have children. You're now dealing with a political society. The president, John Quavius Trump, he said, hey, look, you got 2 years to get your ass off of welfare, off of Section 8. You got 7 years to deal with SNAP. And if you're on SNAP, you need to work at least 20 hours a week to maintain your SNAP benefits. And you bitching and moaning, oh, why is he doing this to me? Okay, first and foremost, whore, you trying to live off of government assistance, the hustle of getting pregnant at 17, 18 years old to get out of your trifling ass mama's house and live off of the government, have the government supplement your income come 2027, 2028, that's over. It's over for that. It's over for that. Getting rid of the illegals, whether they're criminals or not, helps bring up the federal minimum wage to where you're no longer working for $8, $9 an hour. You're no longer working for peanuts. You're now at least working for rent money. That, look, DNA testing is going to be nationwide mandatory. 50-50 custody is going to be nationwide mandatory. Sure, Tennessee and Kentucky, they are testing grounds for that shit. Remember the testing ground concerning marijuana? Where were the testing grounds concerning marijuana? Bueller. It was Colorado and Washington, right? Now all of a sudden, next thing you know, 48 of the 50 states, you can buy marijuana, CBD oils, government controlled marijuana oils in 48 of the 50 states, and they tax the shit out of those businesses because they know you're nothing but a fucking junkie. It's no different. It's no different. And if you think that your slave master of the Democratic Party is going to fucking save you, I hate to tell you, bitch, but you got another thing fucking coming. Because number one, they're not going to win the primaries. If Pam Bondi actually gets off her fucking finger wagging soccer mom bitch made ass and actually throws cuffs on motherfuckers, and that the Supreme Court actually says, hey, you know what? Gerrymandering based on race is illegal. Your Democratic Party, your slave master that you just couldn't wait to get the fuck back up under, is going to be a majority minority party, just like you used to be a majority minority. Dr. Claude Anderson warned you of this shit about immigration back in the 90s, but you didn't fucking listen. And now you are the minority right now. Joe Biden told you better learn Spanish. As he let this country flood with criminal illegals, that you sitting up here got some beige ass, fake ass, fucking Al B. Sure, fake Black Panther talking about he gonna shoot somebody over, shoot a federal agent over. Funny, ICE agents appeared in Philadelphia a couple days ago, and this nigga is nowhere to be found. But y'all champion this goofy ass, paid actor surrounded, paid agitator ass nigga. Cause you know, you a goofy pro-black. You can only think out, you can't think past your fucking nose. You have no fucking discernment whatsoever. Even if Donald Trump died tomorrow, do you think this shit would stop? Do you have no fucking idea who the fuck J.D. Vance is?
And that's the motherfucker you should be scared of.
Yes, that's your next president for the next 2 elections. That motherfucker is Trump in his 40s with a beard. Only his speech, the way that he talks, is more presidential than Obama, but he thinks just like Trump. That's why Charlie Kirk said, yo, pick him for your VP. Then Trump sat and met. They talked for 6 hours. He said, yeah, this is my dude. This is my guy. Have you not heard J.D. Vance talk? Do we sound like somebody that's a bitch ass nigga? Do J.D. Vance sound like a bitch ass nigga to you? Charles?
You can look at him and tell him he put bodies in the ground.
Admiral Smoke?
He's muted up. You can look at him. He's a war vet. He's not a bitch. A
He not
Marine
a
war vet at that.
This nigga come from drug-addled parents from Youngstown, Ohio. I lived in Ohio. I'm an Ohioan. Do you have no idea how trailer parky Ohio is? This motherfucker is. If you've ever watched Malcolm in the Middle, especially the last episode when his parents told him, his mother told him, "You're gonna be president one day." Yeah, that's JD Vance. He's went through hellfire and back. You can't nail him on the racism shit because he got an Indian wife and children. You have no controversies on him. You have nothing on him. And he's intelligent as fuck. You really think this motherfucker gonna kowtow to you? If Trump died tomorrow, I'm sorry, you're super fucked. Because your hate for Donald Trump is going to go away, but yet his policies are going to be stronger than ever by somebody who's not going to die of old age. And he's going to be president for probably the next 10 years. You take over as interim president for the next 2, then you rerun, you're going to be president unless Marco Rubio beats you out, and he's not, because there's not one fucking Democratic fucking nominee that's ever going to take it. Yo, who the fuck going to beat JD Vance? You really think Gavin Newsom or Jasmine Crockett or AOC is going to beat a fucking JD Vance? Are you really that goddamn dumb? Who the fuck are you going to get to beat him come 2032? With the rate you're going. And again, if the Supreme Court deems that gerrymandering based on race is illegal, you're going to lose 20 seats as a Democratic Party, which means you're going to be a majority minority. It's over. It's over.
Yes. Yeah. And shout out to, said the common sense's point, right? When we talk about nice is a virtue, right? So historically, let's go with nice, right? And again, I always tell people to vote their interests, right? I am Republican, right? But I tell people to vote their interests. When I first came to the space and people were asking, well, why do you vote Republican? I said, it's not your business because my money isn't your business, right? How I make my money and how I get it is none of your business. How you make your money and how you get it, like I said, is none of my business, right? So unless we live in a community together where our actions impact each other one way or another, then we can have certain types of conversations. But simply over the internet, to me, it doesn't make sense because I'm not going to speak over your wallet, right? So, but and why do I talk about niceness being a virtue, right? Not a virtue. So you all have people who will smile in your face, let's say about immigration, and nobody's against immigration, right? But you got to remember, if you're Black America and you are aware of your history, you have to understand that immigration hasn't done you any favors, right? So what happens? We're out of slavery and immigrants come in from Europe, right? So now, mind you, we're the ones in America with all the job skills, not necessarily immigrants that are coming in from Europe. And what happens? The immigrants from Europe come in, they're the ones that are making higher wages. They're the ones that are getting the jobs. And oh, surprise, surprise, they end up forming labor unions so that they don't have to compete with us.
My
right?
God.
And then they
You are I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you were 100% right. Dr. Claude Anderson told Black people back in the 90s, right now, currently, you are the majority minority. If you don't fight against immigration, you're going to become the minority, and you'll become irrelevant.
Yes.
And looking at the economic demographic, and Charles, you'll see me post this chart. Even with illegals here, we're at the very bottom.
So
Am I lying, Admiral? Are we at the very bottom despite illegal immigration?
we're at 14% of the population. I think the Latino community is 19%, right? And so again, when you look at niceness, somebody smiled at you, they didn't call you a nigger, right? And they convinced you. This is what soft power is, right? It's a form of coercion, right, to get you to agree to things you normally would not do, right? If used in a bad way, right? This is what soft power is. So a way to attack your enemy is to also put your arms around them and smile, right? So somebody smiled at you, and as a result of that, between the late 1970s and now, there are 20 million African Americans that have been deleted, right? So now, without that 20 million, you're 14.6% of the population instead of 21%, right? Somebody smiled at you and said, "Hey, let's have a coalition of people of color," right? And so, in the manner in which it was put together, it will actually be a form of colonialism. Why? Because if I want to make certain demands for Black America, now all of a sudden I have to negotiate with these other groups, right? Instead of dealing directly with the power structure like I did before, right?
Who benefited from DEI?
And so this, and like I said again, this will be the thing. And because we don't understand statecraft and governance, right? And Charles and I said this, right? You don't understand who to give the olive branch to and who to give the sword to. So if you look at Black America's labor in regards to what civil rights has produced, right? Everybody has dogpiled on it, and again, because somebody smiles at you and says the white man is evil, you have made a whole you've made a whole goddamn mountain of bad decisions, right? Which were emotional and not based. Why? Because you're dealing with people and you're embracing groups of people. You have no idea what they believe, right? You have no idea what they believe and what their agenda is. And so without statecraft governance, you can't find out who's an enemy and who's an ally, right? Not really. And so you
Who's
have to.
the
So
weakest Black man in America?
what you say?
Who's the weakest Black man in America?
The effeminate one?
And what makes him effeminate?
Hmm. That he's
I,
one.
I want Admiral to answer it.
Oh,
What makes
Lord.
I don't know what
who's the
makes
weakest Black man in America?
what would
Charles
make.
gave you the clue.
Mm-hmm. I
Let
don't
me
know.
break it down. Okay, let me break it down to you. Let me, because this is my area of expertise. We went through 400 years of slavery. As Black people, we learned everything that we learned from overseers, which was the decadent, most disgusting, most low-life pieces of shit white people in American history. All right, scumbags, trailer trash, whatever, meth addicts. This is how we learned how to behave. Once we got free, you had those of us who were because to understand that as Black people we're not a monolith. There's a reason why we had a Tulsa and a Rosewood and a Central Park and a Greenwood and etc. Because not all of us were fucking we didn't all adhere to liberal Confederate slave master overseer intellectual ideology. But now that we've been a conquered people through legislation, which we call civil rights, understand it took legislation in order to get us to the point that we are right now. So now that we have legislation that is coming forth over the next 2 years that is trying to free us from financial and psychological slavery from the Confederacy, the Democratic Party, And it's funny because Malcolm X told us, stop fucking with the white liberals. He told us that niggas forget that shit. They 100% forget that shit. Now that we have legislation freeing us, you have currently, as you see, when you watch these videos, why is Don Lemon getting ready to face, hopefully, but I doubt it, but we'll see. Why is he facing federal charges of the FACE and the Klan Act? Why is he facing that shit? Because he was listening to a goofy black bitch going in and committing federal crimes at a church. Do you understand? You've got black men like that goofy blood gang member cosplaying as a Black Panther, a paid agitator, because there's no record of how this nigga's getting paid. This is the number one thing I look at. How are you getting funding? Who's funding you? You have, I mean, I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but I need for black people to think past surface dirt.
Well, but that would be the thing, right? Common sense, because at least for me, right? Because I haven't been in America for years, but from the outside looking in, it seems Black America, so much of their politics is based on spite than it is, okay, like I said, actual policy or business, right? Because again, if you're going to be engaged in politics, you're going there for your business interests, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing. All the things that are social is up for your community to manage, not the government, right? So if your community wants to allow certain things socially, that is something that happens locally amongst your community. Culture wars at the federal government level are nothing more than distractions. At the federal government level, you should be fucking talking straight money, right?
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? So
this is why you cut off money for motherfuckers who don't want to follow federal law.
Yes. And so, yeah. And so at that point, you're, like I said, you're talking, like I said, you're talking money. And it goes back to what I'm saying. So for so long, black people voted on spite, right? Until what? So now in 2020 or whatever it is, you're seeing your tax dollars go to people, and people who are getting more benefits to you who are not even citizens, and you've been here since the damn 1500s, right? And fought all these wars, right? And you got people who are not even citizens who are receiving benefits to things that your ancestors shed blood for. That's a spit in the face. Well, Kamala Harris said that she will make the Freedmen Bank open to everybody, and I'm like, was everybody in this bitch a former slave? Like,
she should have been. Oh my God! Let me stop. I don't want to get busy by the FBI.
And that's the thing. And so it goes back to this whole thing that nice, like it's like what I told you. Nice is not a virtue. What's the tangible bit? Because I have a homegirl, and she said, she was fighting with somebody about immigration, and and like just trying to show the guy's a bigot. And when I broke it down to her, and I was like, no, historically speaking, immigration has done Black America no favors, starting with the European immigrants who are undergirded with the Homestead Act while we were given nothing.
What is the true religion of the Jewish people? What do they worship? What is their true religion?
Their true religion.
Their true religion. What is it? True religion. What do they worship? What's their main focus as a religion? Yes, money. Yes. Name a racial group whose true religion, their bottom line true religion, is not based on their economic survival. Name it.
Us.
Thank you. Black folks.
Yeah,
We
but
the only motherfuckers that will go out here and shed our blood, sweat, and tears for every other fucking race except for our own. And our biggest problem, I'll say it again, our biggest problem is that we talk about generational curses, right? Right?
Right.
Our biggest generational curse that we refuse to let go of is letting go of the Confederate slave mentality. That's why why do you think MLK was killed? Why do you think MLK was killed? Why do you think Malcolm X was killed? Because their biggest talking point was, hey, we have to cut ourselves off from the Confederacy. Nobody gave a fuck when MLK was sitting up there talking about some content of our character instead of our skin and all of that goofy shit. Yeah, that's nice to hear. That's a nice platitude. But as black people in America, our biggest crutch, what keeps us perpetually stupid and poor and deficient and decadent, is our fucking reliance on trying to get that fucking head pad from Confederate white people. Am I lying?
Yeah, but nice is not again, it goes back to what we said. Nice is not a verb, right? So you have to look. The thing is that again, if you want freedom, you want ownership, right? Ownership goes with sovereignty, and that's the thing, right? So when you talk about equal is nothing more than privilege and permission. So if I truly what sense does it make if I'm going to fight my way out of slavery only to get a salary? Right? That how does that even make sense? Right?
Or to get a check from the government
want
for my slave quarter housing, my food, my light, gas, telephone. Barely enough. I mean, you're paid to be in slave quarters.
But that's
what social programs are.
And that's what's the point. If you work and you consume, but yet you don't control any of the means of production, that is slavery perfected.
Yeah, they don't need you to pick no cotton.
Yeah, that's slavery perfected. Yeah, you need to pick cotton as long as you're paying taxes and that card is being swiped, right? Sales tax, whatever it is, that is slavery perfected, right? Because you don't own anything. You don't own anything, but you work and you consume. Halas, it's done. It's slavery, like I said, slavery perfected. So you have to, and so again, that would be the thing. It comes from a total misunderstanding of what freedom is. So when I was a boy, I'll never forget, I was upset because I had to go to bed after Knight Rider went off. Right? You know what I'm saying? And my father was still up. And I'm like, wow, look at adults. My dad gets to do whatever he wants to do. No, my father was sitting there calculating how much overtime he had to work because Christmas was coming, right? I wanted an Atari. I wanted Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. My mother wanted to get her hair done. My sister wanted new clothes. My grandmother wanted this. And so my father had to sit down there between his two jobs and find out what he was going to work in order to do what. And so now what I
wait. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Before you were 16 years old, how many times for Christmas did you get like mittens and a winter hat, a jacket, thermal socks, new boots for Christmas instead of toys?
Yeah. So yeah, correct. So what I thought was my father's freedom was nothing more than the burden of responsibility. The burden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I was trying to say. You know, say again, BGS, you're not supposed to have any damn internet, old man. BGS, BGS, I'm going to tell you what I told my father. I want you to live for you. BGS, BGS, I'm going to make some phone calls and take your internet. Old man, I'm going to take your internet. Right? But you get, you know, say, but you get what I'm trying to say. And so what happens is that, like I said, if you're Black America, in a sense, you're caught in you've been caught in a type of paradox, right? And so you ultimately you're going to
slavery.
You're gonna have to decide what it is that you want to do, and it may already be, like I said, it may already be too late. Because I remember I met Claude Anderson multiple times as a young man in the '90s, right? And I back in the day before the internet, I had Claude Anderson like VHS cassettes of Claude Anderson, and I'll never forget. Claude Anderson scared the shit out of me when I was a teenage boy in the '90s, because Claude Anderson told me if I don't have my shit together by the early 2000s, I will be stuck as a permanent underclass.
Where you at right now? Are you permanent underclass?
No, I'm talking about collectively.
Oh, yeah.
No, I understand. But as an individual, are you permanent underclass?
No. But I'm just saying, but you know, as an individual, no. But collectively, right? Collectively, he was saying that again.
Am I coming across good?
Yeah. If we
like
didn't make changes,
like I said, Black people collectively 50, but per household, $54,000 a year. You're at the very bottom of the economic fucking ladder.
I want you to think about this, right? $50,000 a year is one person. On average. What is it? What, 40% of Americans don't even make 40,000? That's a very telltale. But notice, the people who make the most in this country are usually married with strong family values.
That's why I said it's going to take 2 generations and we'll be dead. All the guys on this panel listening, you'll be dead. It's going to take 2 generations of policy that Trump has implemented right now today, which is going to be continually implemented by the next 2 presidents, in order for us to get out of the financial slavery rut that we're in. People do not understand that this man literally is trying to free us from democratic Confederate slavery.
But you know what's the best thing about that is, you know, slavery, like many things, once you get used to it, psychologically it ain't that bad. It's all you know. It's like drugs. You know the drug is killing you. You know the drug is tearing your family apart. It's like when a couple of friends of mine thought I was addicted to alcohol. Like I was suffering from alcoholism. So I showed them. I don't have to drink for months. I bought bottles of liquor that sat there from Thanksgiving to New Year's. See, I choose to drink. I don't have to drink. and that's the difference. What's worse is that a lot of people are choosing mediocrity. People are choosing to wallow in obsolescence. It's no different than you're gonna hate me for this. It's no different.
I hate you now because you're telling us.
I hate you now, but you're black. I hate you. I hate my gums. I hate Goldberg's lips.
Jerry Glanville.
And it's like telling black women you can reverse diabetes. You could probably get better choices of men if you became nicer and fitter. But guess who does not want to change?
You, the individual.
And see what happens is that individual, for example, one of my exes was sick, you know, had really bad sinus infection.
And I looked at her daughter, who was like 12, 13 years old, and she's the size of a goddamn adult woman.
Oh, God.
And her dad came by to bring her some food. Nothing nourishing, just some Chinese shit. A box of yakami that was made for 4 people. And she's eating it with a fork. And I'm like, obese children should be classified as child abuse. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to do this to my brothers who donated. It's been a while, so you got to give it to me. To the electrician 480, here you go.
By the power of Grayskull.
Am I the only motherfucker who reverts to a 4 or 5-year-old boy when I see that? And this is for F Holiday for your donation.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
Thank you, gentlemen, for donating. And this is the reason why. You know,
Say something. Go
Hello?
beyond plus ultra means kill shot.
oh, that means kill shot. That means you're going beyond your 100%. You're going ultra. You have to dig in, and you might have to go dig in deep and whoop some ass.
That's a fuck your feelings, nigga. I'm killing you.
That's fuck your
There's no
count.
redemption for you. It's time for you to die. That's what go beyond plus ultra means.
But see,
I'm
I'm
telling you.
glad you said that, because this is the part of toughness. And oh yeah, Bay, send me your email. Text me your email so I can send you the story that I'm writing. I'm getting some test readers. And some fictional shit. You might like it. This is the funny thing about it. I had people tell me that what I've done in Iraq, if I had to kill people, that's murder. I said, that's not murder, shorty. Murder means, by definition, the unjustified killing or taking of a human life. This is the part where
Why are you giggling? Like you happy to say it. You can't wait to say it. Why are you giggling? Go ahead, say it.
Let's read Rodriguez. See, there are so many people who sit at a lap of luxury, if you will. And I really do mean that as a lap of luxury. Because you have the luxury to Monday morning quarterback what a person does in war. You have the luxury to Monday morning quarterback, or Tuesday morning quarterback, actually, because, Monday's the last game of the week. What a law enforcement officer has to face, and he got seconds or less than seconds to react.
Renee Good.
Huh?
Renee Good. That was a clean shoot.
Oh yeah. You gotta realize something. This doesn't happen in Israel. This doesn't happen in Russia. Why? Because most people, if not all the people, have to serve 2 years. Like I said years ago, how many times have I said this, Bay? Most Americans are reliant on someone else to protect them.
Charles, you've seen my arsenal. I've seen the pictures.
You seen mine.
Yeah. I'm not military. I'm not former police. But my father's former military, and he trained me pretty good.
And how many times?
Do I come across like that fake ass pro black?
No.
Black Kirk Lazarus nigga.
You would have probably slapped him.
because that's an insult to Black Panthers. I was personally insulted. I'm going to tell you this. You were one, and I got to give you your flowers. When I said that, you were one of the first people who got the message. You were one of the first people to get my message and was like, you know what? This motherfucker ain't lying. I understand how people may feel about firearms, depending on your background, depending on your state, depending on the laws, how you feel about it. I'm not saying you got to go out there and get an AT-4 and, kill some tanks. But as a man, it's your duty to protect. It's your duty to maintain. See, do anybody know the 3 components of a god? At least
Generator, operator, destroyer.
Yep. The creator, the maintainer, the destroyer. And a lot of this stuff, when you talk about toughness and protection, a lot of this shit boils down to you never really had to put your ass on the line a day in your life. Have you noticed I really come around people respectfully?
Your biggest mission as a holier than now or larger than now or anyone, but you have the clear physical advantage is to de-escalate.
Yeah. And think about this. Sandog, not a small dude. Sandog and myself literally talked about, have you ever had the ability to physically force a motherfucker to bend to your will?
Yeah.
That is power. Whether if you knock them out, knock them silly, you don't even have to knock them out, just knock them silly. Or you put him in such a hold where he has to tap.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I think people misunderstand. They confuse internet with reality. I have plenty of stories where because I'm only 5'7".
Because you know where I was going, right?
Yeah, I'm 5'7". I'm light skinned, but I grew up on the east side of Cleveland, and my biggest enemies were not white men in suits. Although I consider my biggest enemy white men in suits because they make the laws and the power. They have the power to decide my fate.
But
they're lapdogs. Their lapdogs, from my perspective, have been the dark-skinned poors. And the dark-skinned poors have always tried me because, what's the biggest thing that you can do as a combatant when it comes to enemy? What's the biggest mistake you make as an enemy, as a soldier?
You underestimate your enemy.
You underestimate your enemy, and the reason why you normally underestimate your enemy is because of what?
Hubris.
Yeah, you think that you're better than them because you go by looks, you go by size,
stature.
Right? Yeah.
Factor.
I'm 5'7". I'm light skinned. Of course, I was short growing up in the east side of Cleveland, Ohio, which is majority black. But I grew up around a lot of poor, dark-skinned, motherfucking dark-skinned black people. So they always miscalculated who the fuck they were dealing with. You can take this internet shit for a joke all you want to. I always say, and I'll say it now, pull up. Pull up. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Pull up.
And see, that's the point that I make. When you underestimate, you just walked into your own destruction. I told people, don't confuse my peacefulness and my silence for weakness. Because if I decide to let the God of War play There's a reason why my security firm is called Black Lion. I am the lion of my pride. I will fiercely and I will ruthlessly hurt you. See, I'm one of those motherfuckers who I won't have to kill you. I'll just do enough violence and irreparable damage where I need not fear your vengeance. When I get pissed off and hands gotta be thrown, I go by the motto of Ken Shamrock: feet flying, fists flying, people's bodies flying. People better be glad that I keep a lot of shit under control. Don't get smart with me, because really, what's going to happen is I'm going to slap the shit out of you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you to look for looks. I'm not going to hurt you for no sponsorship. No. I'm going to hurt you. If you put me in a compromised position where you're trying to hurt me or you look like you're about to hurt me, I'm striking first.
What do you think about the liberal-minded male, the liberal-minded black man?
I'm going to speak for a lot of people from my ilk. When I mean my ilk, the military, law enforcement people like Dr. L, Admiral Smoke, a.k.a. Sandog, Louis Collier, and even civilian-minded people like yourself. The liberal male literally, and I mean from the bottom of my heart, disgusts me. Now, when I mean liberal male, I'm not talking about, somebody like Mr. Z, because Mr. Z is still a man who will defend his honor and his woman's honor. And I get that. But when I'm talking about liberal, I'm talking about ultra liberal, feminine, emasculated,
lesbian, man-hating, feminist, ideological.
Yeah, that's
liberal.
See, I have more respect for gay men who put their race in front of their sexuality. The craziest part about it is there's some gay men who got more quote-unquote balls than the so-called heterosexual. But this is the saddest part. You can't check your woman. You can't check your community. You can't even stand up for yourself. See, I'm the one person who I don't give a fuck whose establishment I am. If shit doesn't seem, I almost walked out of the fucking cigar lounge I was in because we had a discussion about Jasmine Crockett. Well,
Oh my God, not blackface Crockett.
Yeah, and I said, so I asked this one question. When is critique different than being honest about this person ain't shit for their job? If I take a guy like LAPD SWAT and we hit the range, and because I haven't been to the range, there's going to be a curve because it's a finite skill. The first round or two, maybe three, shots might be a little off. About 3 or 4, I'm on my target. He's not going to be like, oh, you can't shoot. No, we got to go around. No, we got to go around. Because guess what? If we're working a security detail, you want to make sure that motherfucker can shoot. You want to make sure that motherfucker can fight. When I had motherfuckers who couldn't throw down in the academy, guess what I did? I taught wrestling and boxing.
I'm going to teach you to throw down. One way or the other.
When I told people, I'm going to show you dirty fighting. I'm going to show you dirty boxing. When you get a collar tie and you throw uppercuts. Randy Couture was famous for that. You know how many women I taught joint locks? One time it saved the woman's life. Dude grabbed her gun. She put a Kimura on that motherfucker and hung on for dear life till the partners came on. But I don't do this shit for praise. See, the craziest part about this is, even though some people are not military, they may be armed security for years. They may be corrections. I think anybody who work corrections, law enforcement, armed security, especially high risk armed security, military, EMT, paramedic, firefighter. They should have a national fucking holiday called All Heroes Day. If I was president, that would be my holiday, and I would actually put it in June.
You know what I spent I wound up buying the trigger lock for my 43 cows.
Mm-hmm.
Bought trigger locks for my 43 cows. But then again, here's the thing where a lot of people make the mistake with open carry is that you're showing off
I don't believe in open carry.
when you show it.
The only
No,
time
I don't either.
I don't
Because you're
think
showing
open
off.
carry is if you're law enforcement or you're armed security, where you have to be openly. I don't believe in civilian open carry. And this is the thing. People may say, "What about the bad guys?" Well, if I get shot, you're supposed to have the other five motherfuckers to light his ass up and somebody patch me up.
I believe in carry conceal.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you make yourself a target, even
Exactly.
and it gets back into this toughness role, because I always hated the little buzz cut, gotta wear the what's that some type of warrior ethos shirt, got the buzz cut, got the tack pants,
The camo pants and the
camo
what's the tech boots? What are they called?
Got the little desert boots or the real black boots,
Yeah.
where you might have your badge on the side from the t-shirt that shows it a little bit, and somebody might ask, "What's that?" "Oh man, I'm just a cop." You couldn't tell. Most of my friends couldn't tell I had, like, if I'm over my homeboy's house, we playing video games, I'll take my gun, and they didn't even know I had it on.
Oh, you take it off?
If I'm in their house.
Well, I mean, because I wear oversized hoodies for a reason.
And this is me in summertime. So you got to think about it. If I'm in their house where I'm comfortable, I'm not walking around like I'm comfortable. If I'm outside, no, I don't take it off. Fuck them.
Well, I get it. But my whole thing is that I don't reveal shit.
No,
I wear large hoodies, you know what I'm saying? And they hang down, a little bit past my waist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm wearing jeans, or even if I'm not, I'm wearing the around the body holster. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, inside the waistband.
Yeah, you gotta really be looking at me to be like, what the fuck? What is that?
Most times, if you're smart, you're facing, you're moving around, and you're facing the wall. So if somebody tries to grab something, I'm putting it against the wall. And guess what? In your opposite pocket from your gun side, you should have a knife.
Yeah, and if you can't, my thing is, if you try to go, like you see it in my holster, you try to get it, but I got the thumb lock. I got the thumb because I make sure I get the locks. I got the thumb lock. I'm not gonna wrestle with you over it, because by the time you realize where the pain is coming from, I've already jabbed you 3-4 times in the eye.
Yeah, because
with a very sharp object. Because I wear 20 pounds of gear. You've heard me say this. I wear 20 pounds of gear every day. It's not a joke.
I carry at least 3 magazines in my pocket, a knife or 3. I have extra magazines in a bag. In my car, I have a first aid. I have a first aid. I have a miniature fire extinguisher in my back seat. For my car, somebody else's. Trust me, people don't know this about me. I had an ex-girlfriend in PG, right? And I'm going to work, and the lady's car flipped with her door. So of course I'm pulling over to the side. Even if you didn't see me, I think you're scum if you in any type of, even if you weren't police, military, corrections, security, and none of that, you're scum if you're not going to help a person in an overturned car or attempt to.
Oh, yeah.
You're scum. You're scum in my book. I had to literally get on the ground, and this is before, because PG's an hour away. So that means if I had to be to work at 3, I'm leaving out at like what? 1:45.
Yeah.
2, like 1:45. A little pocket change. So I see this overturned. The lady screaming. She's got some cuts. So does her daughter. Had to bust the window. It was 2 guys who were from state corrections and off duty Anne Arundel County. So we had to literally have my knife, cut her out. I had to move, put a blanket down, so none of the glass cut her, pull her out, and they pulled her daughter out. So what happens is like, you gotta be able to maintain your sanity in some of these hard. That's toughness, by the way, when you gotta maintain your fucking wits when everybody else is going nutty. What if I'm like the first person out? So when people saw me, other people came to help. So think about it. Because of your action, you may save that person's life. Even if you may not have the tools, because a lot of people like to be out of sight, out of mind, you just saved that person's life because the people who were literally scared to help, they came out and said, we're going to do this. This is the reason why I tell black men, get your firearms up, get in the goddamn gym, get your strength up, get your muscular strength.
But wait. Why would you improve yourself as a black man?
Because you need to live.
I don't understand. Why would you do that? Are you trying to do that because you want to get laid?
No, because I want a better quality of life.
Are you sure?
I'm
not doing it for females?
Guess what? Females may come, but females may go. I gotta live the rest of my life. Don't you know?
How dare you want to live healthy?
I would have before I even started the show. I did 10 sets of. I did like 3 sets of 10 with my 60-pound dumbbells, curls. Hell, after I put my clothes in the damn dryer, I might do some hammer curls with the 40s.
Here's what I think people don't
shoulder presses and chests. Go ahead.
Here's what people don't understand. The body cam and the self-protection and the serrated edge and the pepper spray is not necessarily to do damage to other people. It's actually to help others.
Yeah, especially if you got a crowd. Get a fogger. Some of you need to keep a fogger in your damn car. I mean, take it out because it's super cold where I'm at because you don't want the shit to freeze on you. But, keep it in your car. You might need to go to your trunk. And you got a crowd, guess what? Instead of running them all over, unless you really, really need to, get that fogger out. Once people start, yeah, they get the fuck out your way quick.
Yes, they do. And nobody wants to get hit.
Guess what? Like I've told the story. My son was coming out of school, and he saw one of his friends about to get jumped by 6 dudes. And my son's a pretty damn competent boxer.
Wait. Describe the 6 dude that was going to jump the friend. Describe him.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
So I'm laughing to myself because the next day they brought 40 people. I'm looking at him like, nigga, how many did you drop?
40 people?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this right now. And you as a former cop, you grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now, and please tell me what you're saying has any validity to it.
Hey, down the hill.
The majority of the people who cause the majority of the problems in a black society are normally the poverty-stricken, single mama raised, dark-skinned black people. Am I lying?
It's not just dark skin. It's
I'm talking about majority.
Majority, yes. You got to think about it, right? See, in my parents, my mom complexion. My dad's lighter. Okay. My sister's even lighter than that. My brother's lighter than me. He has my father's complexion. Niece and nephew are light, yellow. My great nieces and nephews, yellow. The oldest one is brown. We were not allowed to play colorism. Okay, you didn't play that shit. You didn't play that shit. So when we were in situations, that's why color was a weird thing for me when I first heard about it. And the fucked up part is colorism is not a black male construct. So I hate it they try to blame, because last time I checked, there's plenty of dark-skinned men who mated and dated and married dark-skinned women, light-skinned women, brown-skinned women. We are literally a fucking melting pot of color. So when I look because I do agree with you wholeheartedly that single mother raised man is literally the Anakin Skywalker of our race. And think about this to make it even sadder. And I'm so glad that Black Gnostic talked about, forget the lady's name, the 85. This is the reason why I told a lot of young black men 85 chicks are surviving. They're just trying to make it, okay? And when you deal with hood chicks, yeah, and dog said it best. Hood chicks are the best pussy, but you can't see no future in them. The most dangerous is try to see a future in a hood chick. And the fucked up part about this is that when you put that in such, you put him in such a bind where he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Unfortunately, I'm boring. Okay, unfortunately, you don't have to be here. Unfortunately, you look like you swallowed a hot. Not my fault.
Did somebody strike a nerve?
Yeah, probably. Look at it. And I know that's not your picture, so yeah. I know that's not your picture, dude. I know that's not your picture because I could easily go to my live because you know they split lives up. So if you're mad about something, you know, keep it to yourself. I got enough moderators to get you out of here. As a matter of fact, like I said, I'm Borging. Oops, my bad. Okay, we'll take that. I'll take it back if you said Borging. I'll take that back if you said Borging. My bad. I'm not afraid to apologize if I misconstrued things. If you said Borging, I'll take that. I'll take that. I apologize to you if you were coming with good faith and good notions. Hopefully, I'm not Borging, so we could get that. So, well, where was I? This single mother raised boy is the most entitled, the most reckless, the most ill-trained, the most ill-prepared recluse that God ever made. And it saddens me to say this shit. Because you think the world is supposed to fucking take care of you. No. I'd be damned not to have a future. I had people the last time now, oh, the EMT, that's not a good job. Guess what? That's what the average black boy doing right now at 18, looking for a job, no skills. See, you got a lot of motherfuckers complaining about the men who's doing it, but you don't say shit about the men who's turning the fucking car. Think about it. I had a GoFundMe. I had motherfucker. Remember when I had to GoFundMe help get young black boys their gun permits and their security clearances and all this shit because it costs money. If people want to help young black boys, how many times ABM, how many times Sandog, how many times Bay was about what I said? Tell me, who equal me in that? But yeah, go ahead, Ben. Let me come back in. Let me come back in because I know it might be boring. Oh shit, I'm back. Oh shit, can y'all hear me? God damn it! Can't stand this goddamn thing sometimes. Give me 1 second. I gotta figure out what I did last time. Can y'all fellas hear me? Yep, I'm back. But like I said, a lot of this shit that you get in that community is unfortunate, a sight of a lack of toughness and responsibility. I've come to the conclusion that any nigga will do doctrine is the reason why that you have women who have babies by any damn body. It's fucking insane to me. But like Sandog says, instead of worrying about the strag, instead of worrying about the chick wanting a better place, why don't you want better for yourself? That's the black man's fatal flaw. Do better and get better for yourself. You want to be in better shape? Don't do it for no chick. You do it for your head. You want to look better in the mirror? You want to run faster, run longer? Give yourself a PR. What happened to a grown man who never had a dragon to slay, a giant to face, a mountain to climb? They had to make they had to make events for men to literally go in the woods like a mini boot camp and face each other with pugil sticks, boxing gloves, MMA gloves, and actually be men instead of being curtain tailed with fucking all this feminazi shit. Use your words. My words don't work if the bully's fucking pile driving me. But at the same time, the white chick tells her son to use her words, but then she doesn't realize why she doesn't have grandchildren. Because you made your son such a fucking cuck that no woman respects him. He's the eternal virgin. He could live 1,000 years from now. The only thing's fucked is his dating life. What's the motto of the SAS? He who dares wins. You took the daring and the challenging out of young men, and you just want them to utilize that for what? Being a pit bull, being an attack dog. You don't care if this boy actually learns how to fight. What happened years ago? What was it in Chicago, Detroit? Mom mouthing off to a dude. She doesn't know. Dude go upside her head. Son had to put a couple in him. Why would you put your son in that predicament? What happened if his boys were in the car and they were armed? Because you don't care, because you don't have to take the consequence. Like we talked about the last time I was live. Shorty had a fucking side dude who was an NFL player. She told her brothers and lied to say he hit her, even though the bitch was about as big as a DT. And homeboy had that yeah me and lit the asses up. Yep, thank you, Detroit. That was Chicago. I'm from Chicago, man. You know what's funny? I'm on Amazon and paused on the TV is a movie, a documentary called For the Love of Catch Wrestling. You, hmm. Back in Black America, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. Back in the day, you had so many boxing gyms, you had so many wrestling gyms. Hell, you even had karate gyms. But now, Mama don't want to teach you to fight. Mama wants you to put a basket through a ball through a hoop, or run it 100 yards down the shit to get her out of abject poverty. But she couldn't do that for you. Your young men don't even want to. When the last time you heard of a fucking little boy? What happened to a little? When the last time you heard a little boy get a fucking weight set for his birthday or Christmas? But then you got motherfuckers built like Anton or Futon because he's not in shape. Talking about him to beat somebody's ass. The only ass Anton's beating is an insulin pen. Let's get that shit straight. Because you never taught this tough Tony shit before. That's not your lane. Stop the lane. I don't even talk that dumb shit. Yo, see me, see me. I've talked niggas out of stupid shit. You're not gonna catch a flight. You're not doing that. Because if I beat your ass, it's not gonna be an award for me. People expect me to beat your ass. And this goes to a couple of people. But if you beat my ass, what does that do for me? A lot of people. We had wrestling matches. You had boxing matches. You had judo, karate, full contact. One of the greatest sins, and I love a lot of the mothers from my homeboys, but one who passed away, may she rest in peace. But one of the greatest sins she committed against her son was not allowing her son to play sports. When he got a little hurt in wrestling, he says you can't do it anymore. It's a damn shame when you got to go to one of your best friends and he tells you, I've never been in a fight. What can I tell my son? You think a single mother's going to teach you how to fight? They treat you a certain way like you already supposed to do. That's the one thing. Shotokan. My father's a black belt, third degree black belt in Shimmer U. See, people don't like the story of black of the. First of all, did you know we had a black man who won 6 fucking NCAA 1 and 2 titles? A black man. He won 3 NCAA titles, number one, and 3 in Division 2. A black man, only person who ever do it. We literally got Kenny fucking Monday over there in Morgan State in Baltimore. You know what he's famous for? He's the first black man to win an Olympic gold medal in freestyle wrestling. If you motherfucking black people actually respected black history the way you fucking claim, you would fucking funnel your kids to fucking Kenny Monday. When the fuck? ABM, I need you for this one, boy.
Yeah, what's up?
When the fuck did you know we had the first Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling at Morgan State as a head coach?
No, I didn't.
Kenny Monday, first black man to win an Olympic gold medal. Why the fuck don't we funnel? You would think we would have the mayor, we would have the city council to utilize and funnel those kids over to Morgan. It took almost 40 years for Morgan to get their wrestling team back. I'm upset. I'm too damn old to be up there. I would have loved to be at Morgan. I would have picked Kenny Monday's brain like a goddamn science school prof. Why don't we do it, man? Why don't we do it, ABM?
Because it's not fancy. You don't see wrestlers in the commercials. You know niggas only like name brand.
Yeah. How many? But do you know wrestlers get NIL deals too? Gable Stevenson's a fucking millionaire. The same way you saw Travis Hunter. People love Travis Hunter because guess what? He's a simp. But Gable Stevenson was so talented, He got money from WWE. He got money from fucking football. And guess what? Gable Stevenson, if he keeps that athletic motherfucker, guess who's training him? John Jones. You telling me at heavyweight, when Joe Rogan said the division's fucked because of how fast he is and explosive, the dude threw an overhand right, knocked the dude out, and took him down before he hit the ground. That is fast. Thank you, Broke Genius. Wrestling was my rite of passage that turned me to a man. Yes, the Lord, it did. I was knocked unconscious in wrestling by the coach. We had to earn our way to get to the mat. We did the tryouts in the grass. Okay? Combat sports. If I was the king of black people, if I was the emperor of black people, I swear to God, as much as I love my Ravens, as much as I love my football, I would suspend all ball sports for 5 years, and the only sports you could do is combat sports. And in 5 years, I would literally transform the attitude of black men overnight.
You know, Charles. I mean, it's gonna have to come down to that. You're gonna have to get your own dojo.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I might need to go get that business loan where I'm gonna have to be like Black Lion Universal Training,
Yeah.
firearms, wrestling, boxing, mixed martial arts, jujitsu. Oh, trust me, I got all. I'm very connected in the combat sports world in Baltimore. I did seminars for a lot of jujitsu guys in the city. A lot of people don't know this. Hell, I did a seminar with Dan Severn. UFC legend, the only Triple Crown champion of all time.
Self-defense and all that shit is just gonna. I mean, because like I said, man, I mean, there's a lot of that shit in the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people doing fucking mixed martial arts in this town.
Oh yeah, you go down
Low key,
Pulaski,
nobody talks about it.
you go down Pulaski, you got fucking you got ground control right on Pulaski. You telling me my boxing gym, we did mixed martial arts, we did sparring with the boxing, we did wrestling on the mats, we did jiu-jitsu. Matter of fact, one time I did 3 rounds of boxing, 3 rounds of fucking wrestling, and 3 rounds of submission wrestling. So when I look at people, if you want your child to be a disciplined motherfucker, you put them in boxing, wrestling, and some type of martial art. Because wrestling and boxing are martial arts, by the way. And martial comes from the word Mars, which comes from the word Ares or war, god of war. That's why we call it martial arts, because martial means war. So, oh, I forgot. We're not intelligent men over here. I forgot. Um, that's why Mars is red. You know, Marshall, Mars, War, Aries, the blood moon. That's why it's red. Red is the color of war because it's the color of blood. So when I look at this, and I tell people, if you want your child, especially your boy, but trust me, there's some girls. I gotta find out her name again. Shout out to Shaq getting her a vehicle. That black chick, she nasty. She is a nasty motherfucker in wrestling. If I had the prototypical girl that I could coach in high school, it would have been her. Because she has the level of aggression, she has the good strength, good muscle tone, good discipline. She told boys, "Fuck you! I need my wrestling scholarship." She has the great mindset. Oh my god! I told a lot of you dudes out there, you motherfuckers are the same motherfuckers who believe that the WNBA deserves more money. When I tell people, I'm gonna give y'all a homework assignment. Y'all need to go to fucking Amazon and y'all need to go for the love of catch and look that documentary up. Who's the first black heavyweight champion in boxing?
Jack Johnson.
Did you know Jack Johnson was also a very competent catch wrestler? Did you know that, ABM?
No, I did not.
So that means Jack Johnson was one of the early pioneers of mixed martial arts, right?
Correct.
So he could not only knock you the fuck out, he could submit you. When white boys in Iowa said that Jack Johnson was a damn good catch wrestler, he was a mixed martial artist. But who do we give it to? We give it to Bruce Lee. Not a motherfucker who actually fought, but we give it to Bruce Lee credit for modern mixed martial arts. We don't talk about Al Sachow, who actually submitted Jigoro Kano, the creator of judo. He actually submitted a 6-degree black belt in judo, who was the middleweight champion in judo, the world middleweight champion. And he was also the middleweight champion of catch wrestling. So he actually was technically, he was the judo world champion and the catch wrestling world champion simultaneously. That's how devastating catch wrestling was. If you like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, catch wrestling is the meaner, bigger brother. The crossface chicken wing is catch wrestling. The ankle lock that you've seen Ken Shamrock and Kurt Angle do, that's catch wrestling. Trust me. Let me crank that motherfucker real. you would tap.
Hey, look. Start targeting fucking middle schools, man. And pass out flyers. And pass out your card.
Yeah. I'm trust me, I've been doing that for years.
That's just what it's going to be. I remember back in the day, Bernard Hopkins' old trainer was down here in Baltimore on the fucking bus. I'll never forget it. He was on the 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognized him because he had the same damn U.S. flag jacket that he always used to fucking wear. He was down here in Baltimore passing out flyers and shit.
Yeah.
One people, he was like, man, come down to the gym, man.
You know how long I knew Tank? My nephew, his first amateur fight at Dew Burns Arena in South Baltimore, right? That same fight card, that's when Tank announced he was going pro. So I knew Tank for a long time. You telling me if Tank didn't have boxing, Tank would either be dead or in jail for a bid.
Bro, Tank still might go to jail, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. He might still, but guess what? You can't see the problem is with Tank. It's the same problem with Chris Brown back in the day. There was nobody to ever tell him no. There was nobody to ever tell him no.
He should have stayed under Floyd.
Huh?
He should have stayed under Floyd.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Tank too niggerish, yo.
Two niggers for his own.
He don't want to drop that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of boxing, I keep forgetting I want to fucking drop some pounds so I can go take that exam for the referee shit.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want to do. I want to be a fucking ref.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
That shit is so fun. That shit look like it's so much fun.
Oh, it's like having a front row seat.
And all you gotta do is just pay. You know what I mean? Just pay the exam fee. Pass the fucking little exam.
Yep. And make sure
especially with the youth boxing, yo, because I hate when I be watching youth boxing and the fucking referees don't know how to get out the damn way. That shit bothers me.
Or he doesn't know when to let them fight.
Thank you. Like, yo, let them fucking fight.
Because I remember when I was wrestling, because all the referees used to be great wrestlers. When the referee, and this is how you know you're a great combat artist, right? One of One of the greatest comments I was ever paid was when I tech balled this one guy 21-7. The ref said, that version of you right there, you could have competed against college guys and some people in the world, they couldn't beat you. That was the greatest fucking honor and the greatest compliment I think I've ever been paid in wrestling. When he saw the work, the skill, the speed, the stamina, the endurance, the discipline. See, a lot of lost. Get your young ass up here, because you know what the fuck we talking about. Shout out to the youngest in charge. See, and I'm glad. You know what? I got after the snow shit go. I got to take you to the cigar lounge, man.
Oh yeah, they talking about the Blizzard Apocalypse. Yeah,
the Blizzard Apocalypse. Like we haven't been through that shit before.
I just went to the market yesterday, man. I spent like $300.
And I'm I got a couple of things in here. I'm supposed to get some more shit Friday. How I'm supposed to go tomorrow, then get some more shit Friday. So I'm good. I got about 2 pounds of buffalo chicken, 2 pounds of fucking cheddar, not including all the other fucking food because shit, I got about 3 loaves of fucking bread, wheat bread. Stay away from that white bread. Always the colored bread, wheat bread. Whole grain wheat is even better. A lot of people don't even realize this, that if you notice, combat athletes are the most disciplined athletes. They don't commit crimes. They're less likely to commit crimes. Get more discipline. I tell people all the time, man. If your kid's bullied, you put them in wrestling, you put them in boxing, you put them in jiu-jitsu, you do shit that makes that kid a man. And it's sad because, oh, I'm scared to fight. Guess what? I'm gonna make you fight. But I believe what BGS says is true. The reason why a lot of black women don't put their kids in karate, boxing, and wrestling, because she's scared they'll use it against her, because how does she control her kids? Through heavy-handed tactics.
Yeah. And then you send those young boys out in the fucking world, and then other women want them to protect them.
Yeah. How can I protect you? It's like I tell people about Tupac. I went to Lake Clifton. And ABM, you know how Lake was in the 90s. Goddamn lean on me shit. But this nigga went to fucking school of the arts, and now all of a sudden you go to LA, it's thug life, nigga. See, when you actually go through combat sports, you don't have to bastardize masculinity. I know you got something to say. Go ahead. Be building your channel. Don't forget to support ABM's channel.
I was just gonna say, yeah, people, because people don't know about the Baltimore School of the Arts like that. I tell people all the time, yo, Pac was in tights. He was in leotards.
That nigga was Peter
You're
Pan.
doing ballet at the School of Arts in Baltimore, bro. That's the shit you're doing. Like all of this outlaw street shit Pac was talking was made up.
Yeah. Think about it. You didn't go to Lake Clifton. You didn't go to Mervo. You didn't go to Northern. You didn't go to Dunbar. You didn't go to none of these other schools, even though to me, back in the 90s, Dunbar was actually one of the better schools. So was City. City, Poly, and Dunbar were actually the most kindler, gentler schools. If you went to Lake Northern, Emerson, Walbrook, you went through some shit. So Mervo, a little bit of Mervo. So when I look at this shit, that bastardization of thug life shit that's popularized, because if you ever notice, women don't like a disciplined man. Oh my God! You said they don't like a disciplined man. They don't. I can prove it. Have you ever noticed? Damn near every chick you meet in the state of goddamn Maryland, her baby daddy had kids before she met him.
I'll do you one better. How about when you look at professional fighters, how many of them motherfuckers have had successful marriages?
Ah!
You heard Shane Mosley tell his story before the Margarito fight.
Yeah. What the fuck you need to
Fucking,
take his title? What the fuck you need to take the man's titles for? To sell him?
fucking, Robin Givens cheated on Mike Tyson with Brad Pitt.
Beat his ass.
Floyd Mayweather girlfriend brought another nigga in his house. I mean, that's the life of a fighter. Because when you're dedicated, and you know how boxing is, boxers, they not going to have sex during training. So you training for what, 2 months minimum?
3 to 4
3
at
months.
the most.
You're not doing no banging. She's mad. That's all she thinking about. You heard Deontay Wilder, his story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, when he was WBC champ, yeah, she was on his dick. Motherfucker lost a couple fights, she left his ass.
Yep. See,
and that's why people tell you, boxing is a lonely sport.
I tell people all the time, combat sports are a lonely sport. I'm going to post on my stories, not on my stories, but in my shorts. I'm going to post Kurt Angle when he was on his way to the Olympics. How many times a day he trained? You could see the whole month, for 2 months, how hard he trained. And yes, he had a fucking severely fucked up neck. Women don't understand. To be great, I gotta be disciplined and I gotta be the fuck away from you. Women don't like that. Women don't like that. When you actually people love it when you're on top and you got time to spend. Oh, I need this, I need that. What about when I need training? You're not. That's why they will fucking spend time and put money on the books of a nigga in prison, but they'll leave a nigga who goes to the military or go to college.
Facts. I hate to say it, but that Rocky shit was a bunch of bullshit.
No, Rocky was bullshit.
Ain't no Adrian, ain't no woman hopping on no fucking plane on no 20-hour fucking flight going to Russia, sitting with you in a goddamn log cabin watching you pull horses out the fucking snow, nigga. Ain't nobody doing that shit.
No.
You would have came back to America and you would have got served at the airport with your divorce papers.
Yep. Think about it. The richest men in the world got divorced. What the fuck luck you got? The fuck luck you got? I really want you to think about that. What do you have? Jeff Bezos got divorced. Bill Gates got divorced. Who the fuck are you?
Linda McMahon stayed. I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna say, Linda.
I don't think she's with him technically. She might hate his guts, but she stayed. She still got that name.
She still got that last name.
Because Linda McMahon.
And guess what? Because of that last name, guess who she's sitting next to? She's actually in the cabinet.
And not only that, Charles, but see, Linda McMahon understands legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Women today do not give a shit about legacy. Lineage, legacy, all of that shit, they don't care about. I always tell people this. black women would have divorced Kobe instantly because black women always want the quick money. Vanessa, on the other hand, she stayed with Kobe because Vanessa Bryant saw the bigger picture. That's why when Kobe and his daughter died in that helicopter crash, he gets the entire estate.
Well,
because
even
she
when
didn't go for the quick fucking dollar. You look at these other bitches out here, Brittany Renner. All these bitches are chasing rap niggas and chasing ball players so they can get a quick, easy child support check.
and then look what happened with child support.
And
She
look, and
mad.
here's the thing. Here's why I bring that up. Because when you look at the Kardashians, and I don't hate them, but I don't like them either. But here's the thing. Kris Jenner understood how to flip that shit and make money. How to make real money for her daughters. Didn't really pan out for her sorry ass son, but at least her daughter's getting paid.
Yeah.
They didn't chase basketball niggas just for some fucking child support money. That's why Kim is a billionaire. That's why Kylie is a fucking billionaire. The other two ain't hurting. What is it, 2 or 3? The other ones ain't fucking hurting either. That's the difference.
Nope.
Black people think too fucking short term. You don't think about legacy. You don't think about lineage. That's why the Kardashian name means something now. From a sex tape with a fucking B-list R&B nigga.
That's C-list.
He was Brandy's brother. I mean, come on, let's just keep it real. Ray J has always been and always will be Brandy's little brother.
That's all. He ain't had no real talent.
He's made his money. He's done well for himself and all of that. You know what I mean? But whatever. But from a sex tape with that guy into $1 billion fucking dollars. Brittany Renner is still chasing down her baby daddy for more fucking child support money.
And it ain't gonna happen.
And all you got to show for it is $5,000 a month from a ball player and a weak ass podcast show.
And they showed you how bad you are. And this is what this is the reason why we call her the tragic mulatto. Your mother, who's white, which is funnier, you chose to be the ratchet. What happened with what's the rapper dude when she tried to go Muslim with him? What's his name? God damn. See, the problem was Janet Jackson was supposed to get the baby and then supposed to get the maybe. Okay? Maybe I'll be right back. A lot of motherfuckers don't realize there is almost no such thing as love. It's love you right now. It doesn't mean love you forever. People get upset with that shit. People get upset with it. A lot of you Negroes out there get mad with people like me, get mad with Bay, get mad with Sandog, get mad with ABM for telling you the gospel truth. You're only as good as Kevin Gates. Thank you. And look how fast that dissolved. Y'all get mad at men telling the truth, but you don't get mad at bitches hustling. Yeah, you hear that? I literally see. It's kind of funny, and how prophetic I'm starting to become in this space. Notice, I'm the folk hero that shut down Cynthia G. I'm the folk hero that exposed fucking Anton. Way before Corey did it. Years before Corey. and exposed him for the phony he was. When he tried to say, I'm the reason why the black community's in a decay because I'm a single dad. I said, nigga, I'm doing better than you and you got the help of your wife. I said, matter of fact, tell me what's keeping you. Tell me what you're going to do if your wife decides to leave you. He couldn't even answer. You needed Dennis Sperler to save you. I don't need to go face to face with you because, nigga, I'd have laughed at you. I hope you do hear this, Anton. I would have laughed at you in your face. I'd have sat where the fuck I am and let you stand up on me and laughed at you. I hope you would have swung, and that would have been the last goddamn thing you would have done with that fucking arm, because I'd have ripped it off your fucking shoulders. But I'm not even going to talk about violence because you're not stupid enough to do that. Because not only would I would have beat your ass, I'd have sued you. But see, when you insulted me, I insulted you by saying I'm better than you because I'm raising a damn good son by myself. You needed help. I didn't. I didn't even need to go to the courts. Did you know, ABM? I didn't even need to go to the courts to get my son. I just showed up to the house, give me all his clothes because I bought them. You can't take him to school, I'll do it. I have one of the most dangerous jobs in America, one of the busiest jobs in America, and still managed. When they said my son had a reading deficiency, I corrected it with flashcards, with reading to him, with study time, giving him comic books that were high school to college level, and we would go through the words, and I would phonetically from 3 to 4 to 5 syllable words. That's called not lazy parenting. But you couldn't do what the fuck I do. I don't need to go argue with comedians. Anton, I'm going to personally say this to you. You argue with comedians for clout. I defeated global terrorism. I fought global terrorism. What the fuck can you tell me? I brought down crime in my fucking city in a fucking 3-block radius just by myself. What consequences a nigga like you or any nigga that hates on me in this fucking space to be? Whatever God, whatever ancestors, whatever universal force I see. They will say, Charles Lawrence Faulkner Jr., you were such an asshole. Yes, I was. But did I leave this motherfucker better than what the fuck I found it? And guess what? A unanimous decision, they would have to bow down to me and say yes. Can you say the same? See, you want to talk about legacy? I don't do this clown shit. If I would have people on my panel, it's going to be people who doing something with their lives. I got a guy. The only reason half the fucking people in this space know who the fuck these people are in the conscious community is because of that man and his dad decades ago. I got military officers. I got guard labormen. I got fucking PhDs on my shit. I don't have a bunch of wayward bitches here. Even the women, even the goddamn women who are disagreeable have respect. I'm gonna tell you the same. You know what I had to tell a chick before ABM when we were in roll call years ago? She said, "Faulkner, what do you do so much? I keep people like you from getting your ass whipped. How about that?" And she had to shut the fuck up. See, a lot of times I tell you, black men, stop being afraid to sit at the cusp of power. See, black men are not afraid of failure. Black men are afraid of success because you got to keep it going. A person like me doesn't give a fuck. I love success. I love legacy. I crave that motherfucker. Anybody who learned under me, anybody who teamed with me, that arrogance is gonna proliferate through you. Even with Loss, I told Loss, when you're around them chicks, act like they don't fucking exist, because they want to all fuck you anyway. They all checking you out. They seeing that you got some muscle on you. You're training. They see that you with the type of degree you have. They see what the fuck you got. Oh shit. Let me reinstate this motherfucker. Come back, Loss. I meant to goddamn take you. I meant to highlight your shit, but they got it too damn close. What's up, Mr. Meach? Long time no see. My bad, Loss. Gotta bring you back on this motherfucker. See, the craziness is that come back in the chat, Loss, so I can bring you back up. See, the craziness about it is that when men have some substance, I ain't gotta go argue with no goddamn Antoine. I ain't gotta go argue with no comedian. For fucking what? Black men are trying to get their degrees. They trying to get their jobs. They trying to get their fucking trades. They ain't about this bullshit. They are not about this bullshit. How the fuck you reverse that shit? I'm gonna figure that shit out, dude. Gotta bring you back. See, the craziness about this shit is that a lot of these people out here, like at Anton, you don't have any real friends. I'm gonna go somewhere and you can't bring your friends. You have to bring fucking security. That means you ain't used to being around men. You don't know what the fuck you doing. And that's the sad part, right? Because a lot of niggas out there will claim you gonna beat this person's ass, do all this shit. But the real toughness is how do you raise your family? I'm Christian before I'm black. Were you doing some Christian shit, my nigga? Were you really doing some Christian shit? If it's not, then I really challenge what the fuck you believe in. I really challenge if you're saying you're the example of Christianity, I don't want it. Let's just keep that motherfucker a stack. I wouldn't want it. See, a lot of niggas don't even know how much they almost fucking put their own fucking spiritual belief on on Beach Street. Oh man, I gotta put you talk about my wife. My wife knows about her. Yeah, you sure you do. Here's my question. Why wasn't it your wife up there? Why wasn't your wife with you?
Hey, Anton double dipping.
Me double dipping.
Oh,
Oh no.
the family man, is he? The conservative Christian family man? Huh?
The conservative Christian is gonna be caught with another
Uh-huh.
woman with
Yep.
him and it's not his wife. You haven't. Shout out to who's the former vice president with Trump? Pence. Mike Pence. Mike Pence is the truest motherfucker ever. He wouldn't be caught dead by himself with a woman in his office. Say what you want about Mike Pence. He wasn't stupid.
See, that's the thing about this social media shit, man. You gotta talk it like you walk it, yo.
Yeah.
See, and now niggas already trying to put stories out for him and shit. Oh, his wife already knew about her. He not really fucking her. Like, nigga, how you know?
Exactly.
How you know? Nah, it's suspect, my nigga. That's all the fuck it is. Come on now. Niggas ain't dumb. This is Derek Jackson all over again. And when it all goes down and when she finally divorces Anton and all that, yo, honestly, don't blame Corey.
Yeah. Don't
Because
blame
you shouldn't
Corey.
be walking around with your side bitch like that. I don't care what kind of, you helping her set up a podcast or, you know what I mean, y'all do business. Nah, nigga, you come on, bro. You already know that's suspect.
Last time I
You
checked,
already know that's a problem waiting to happen. Because
last time I checked,
because now you got your fame, you got your little internet fame now. Now you know how that is. All motherfuckers got to do is see you talking to a bitch.
yeah. Last time I checked, you married, right, ABM?
Yeah.
That's not a good look for a married man, is it?
No, it's not.
And by the way, Lost, on the hitting, so I reversed it, so you're not hitting anymore. My bad. Apologize. That is not a good look. All my married friends said I'm not gonna. There ain't no business partner I'm gonna have, and my wife not around because that's all I need is for her to suspect me of cheating.
Charles, you already know how black women work. So let's say this is your female business partner who just so happens to be kind of attractive.
Yeah. Oh boy, you
Do
catching
you
hell.
think your black wife is going to allow you to come to her and say, "Yeah, I'm going to go to the Corey Holcomb podcast with my kind of attractive female business partner," and your wife is going to say, "Oh, okay, hubby. See you when you get back." Nigga, you already
Bullshit.
know how that's going. No, I'm going, nigga.
I'm going. Fuck
Fuck
that
she
bitch.
going for?
Let me
Watch
put
he
it to you
day.
this way. Let me put it to you this way. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of how black women are. I'm in a Mark Patrol car on Green Mountain 33rd. This is when we still had the Impalas. A lady was smiling because I gave her directions on where she needed to go. My ex was somewhere behind me saying, "Why that lady smiling so much?" Duh, I'm in uniform, Mark Patrol car. Duh. He was jealous of me giving a bitch fucking directions. You think, what the fuck you think it is if you tell her, "Oh, I'm going with my business partner from fucking Chicago, from Detroit to LA, and I'm gonna be there for a week." Any other black chick would have had the divorce papers signed, sealed, delivered by the time your black ass got back.
Divorce papers, nigga, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
That black
happened.
woman, shit, she would rather beat your ass.
She would come upside your head with a brass fucking lamp and beat the shit out of you.
And wouldn't give two fucks.
Nope. Hell, you know how many fucking domestics I answer for that one? I'm gonna tell you the fucked up part about it is. See, I've said this before, man. I've said this before. There's niggas who gotta pay, and there's niggas who gotta exist. Anton obviously is a nigga who had to pay. I'm not bragging, but trust me, I got more in accident than most niggas get on purpose. Hell, I got more pussy from fucking lesbians than most niggas do from straight women. And I'm not bragging. The fucked up part about this is I'm not gonna give a comedian as raunchy and ignorant as Corey Holcomb ammunition. You let this motherfucker simmer for a whole week, stew for a whole week. You should have known the atomic bombs were going to be let out. The Tsar Bomba was going to be exploded. When he talked about your wife, when he talked about your daughter, usually I tell people kids are innocent. But guess what? This is the only reason why I say this a little differently. Anton should have shut the fuck up. But of course, you're going to keep pumping this shit because you want them views, you want the money, you want that notoriety. Know thy opponent. What did I say, folks? Know thy opponent. When you're dealing with a joker, a black pill fucking nihilist, there are no rules anymore. It's just survival. And you better pray that you married a bad bitch and you had a pretty daughter. Because you giving a black pill nihilist in comedy ammunition. You brought that bitch on your show, and whatever that we gonna go outside and you left shit, take that bitch with you. That embarrassed you already, so-called Christian man. I don't know any true Christian man who's bringing another woman on a show that's not his wife. I don't know. Do you know any of them, ABM?
Not at all.
Only motherfuckers bringing chicks like that are philanthropers. Back in the late 80s, Jimmy Swaggart, I have sinned. And you said, Roy, you said they were at the game together too?
I mean, again, all I'm saying is why is she there, Anton?
Why not your wife?
She wasn't on the show with you. So what is she there for? Because when Corey was saying, yeah, you and your bitch get out, or tell that bitch something, I was like, damn, Corey going in on his wife. So I just assumed he was talking about his wife. Then a couple days later, they talking about some other woman. I said, hold up, wait a minute.
What did I
Let
tell
me find
you?
out Anton full of shit.
Let me tell you. You're
full of shit, Anton.
You're full of what did I tell y'all about Anton when I first had an interaction with him? When he first came to this space, I was in there. ABM. I am like fucking Hercules to this fucking black manosphere. I'm like Superman. I'm battling all these motherfuckers who talk shit about us first.
Many moons ago, said they were at the game together too. Oh yeah, he fucking her.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Think about it. Years ago, when this space was scared shitless of Cynthia G, I just needed one question. I shitted on Anton on Dennis Sperling channel. Come on. I made the so-called Grandmaster trolls check themselves. So this is the fucking part that gets me, right? And this baffles ABM. I should have at least 10 to 20,000 subscribers. I am literally part of Manosphere history. And I'm not even a bragger. Tell me what part of fucking Manosphere history I'm not a part of. Kevin mentioned me by name. I had 40 motherfuckers from the Baltimore Police Department call me either by fucking Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, or the ones who have my number. I had motherfuckers in corrections who knew me contact me when he said my name. But because I tell real shit, I get stipend here. And I'm gonna tell you, you either gotta love this shit because you love it, or you're gonna be crucified by it. When all these niggas get exposed, the so-called Christians, the so-called conservatives, because we have the most conservative dude here, he's on the panel. He's not insufferable. You're not a true conservative. I keep telling people, you're not a true conservative if you haven't served first. Have you noticed ABM? All the conservative motherfuckers, majority of them were in service.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth. All of them are millennials who served in the fucking war on terror, just like yours truly. Why do you think I don't have a problem with him? Because if I sat down with fucking J.D. Vance and we get some whiskey and some cigars, no cameras around, we kick it like we back in the old country. We'd probably be sharing some stories. Hell, if he was a Marine back then, he probably was in Fallujah. We had to go rescue some of them dudes. Don't be surprised in the next 10, 15 years, you see old boy, yours truly, politically connected. The quickest way to political connections is the military. Is it not, ABM?
Facts.
But you keep listening to your black woman, those or those simple ass, old ass men who are bitter. Oh, don't go to that white man's military. Crispus Attucks said it was on my military before it was the white boys.
Well, listen, here's the thing about it. It's like Nino Brown said. Money talks and bullshit runs a marathon.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers who win the military gets all kind of benefits and shit. You get, you know what I mean, connected with all types of jobs. You know, your housing loans go through and all types of shit. You know what I mean? I'm saying what these motherfuckers talking about, the white man's military and shit, what they gonna do for you when you need a house?
Exactly. Last time I checked, you do know there's a thing called HUD-VASH where you actually get fucking Section 8 set aside for veterans only. You actually can get your fucking Section 8 to pay for your house that you're buying, including with your VA loan.
My cousin was in the Marines, then he went to the Army, then he was in Army Intelligence. He got a nice ass house down in North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers gotta stop allowing themselves to be in this black community box all the time. And I'm not saying that you don't have a valid point when it comes to serving in the military for a country that's always hated you. I get it. But again, Doug, talk is cheap. You know what I'm saying? When it comes time for food, clothing, and shelter, who gives a fuck what somebody thinks?
Exactly. Here's the benefits, right? When you know, my father was about 59, 60 years old when he bought his house. This motherfucker had a 0 credit score. 0. You know how much his house worth? $350,000. Where else in America can you do that without the military? Yeah, the military is going to be bullshit, but guess what? Most of you work at bullshit fast food restaurants. And what are you going to get out of that after 20 years?
I'm just
What,
saying,
what are
motherfuckers
you going to...
don't lecture OnlyFans bitches half as much.
No. What are you going to get out of that? He only did 4 years with the Marine Corps and a year in Vietnam. He got a house. You want to talk about power? His wife was like, I thought we were going to take this house. We did talk about it. You can stay your ass here in West Baltimore, or we going to get this house in Old Court of Milford Mill.
Listen, and again, when the average price of a house in America is almost $500,000, you gonna talk shit. Black men in America have always had to swallow their fucking pride because I got mouths to feed.
Exactly.
It is what it is. Don't be surprised when you start seeing the recruitment numbers go up for the military in this country, because sooner or later, young people are going to figure this shit the fuck out. Hey man, I'm not making any money on Twitch, and it's only so far I'm going to go with DoorDash.
Yep. And if you don't,
I want a fucking house.
If you don't, then you don't deserve it. Nobody gonna take care of you in this fucking life. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody gives a flying fuck about you. Go ahead and be that grateful motherfucker. See where the fuck that gets you.
Go ahead and keep listening to everybody else.
When I try to warn young men to get this military shit, and you dumb motherfuckers look at me like you fucking crooked in the fucking eye, go the fuck ahead.
Man, I'm talking to my son now. Right, you probably already know, Charles. Right now, man, they accepting applications for the police department, all kind of fucking cadet training programs and shit.
I told my son, I said, you run fucking 3 to 5 miles every other fucking day. Easy. You're not even winded. You box. You can go to all army boxing. Be a fucking loser like everybody else. Go ahead. Be a goddamn loser. Be a pathetic ass loser like everybody the fuck else in this fucking country. Who the fuck get you? Be a fucking pathetic ass loser. See what the fuck gets you. You ain't gonna get shit. Nobody's gonna take care of you. Everybody in this fucking country hates you. Nothing about you special. Just doing a fucking couple of years in the goddamn military, you're gonna fucking get a fucking house. Nobody fucking loves you. I don't know where motherfuckers get this shit. Nobody's gonna take care of you. Nobody's gonna kick your ass. You gotta figure it out. If you too damn dumb to figure this shit out by now, I can't save you. The world ain't gonna save you. The same shit that's been told me 25 years ago, 26 now. You think they stopped? You think they stopped? But guess what that white boy gonna do? Guess what that illegal Hispanic gonna do?
Thank you.
And you too damn dumb to see the fucking shit behind your fucking head. Nobody give a fuck about you in this country. If somebody fucking told you some good shit, you better thank that motherfucker.
Eduardo Hernandez is gladly going to go join that military.
And he's gonna get his citizenship too.
And he's going to get his fucking housing loan. He's going to get all types of fucking benefits for his fucking wife,
All
his
15
kids.
of his fucking
Put them in
cousins.
a big ass fucking house, and then the white people across the street will be mad. While you niggas are sitting here worrying about what niggas on TikTok talking about, and you worrying about the fucking pro-blacks and what they got to say about something.
And
Haven't
then you
built
wonder,
shit, haven't done shit. You can't find a pro-black lemonade stand out this motherfucker.
I can't even
You
find a
can't find
pro-black.
you can't find a Pan-African vending machine out this bitch.
Can't even
But
find a
you listening to
pro-black
what
fucking
they gotta
squeegee
say
board.
about something.
Can't even find a
I don't want
pro-black
my
squeegee
black
board.
card to get taken because I joined the military. Man, y'all better
Can't-
stop playing, man. There's so much shit in my life I regret not doing.
You got a goddamn pro-black. You can't even find a pro-black squeegee boy.
In 2000, I went up there to Mondawmin to the Marine Corps recruitment guy, and he said the Marines wouldn't take me because I had asthma. He told me go to the Army, and I didn't want to do the fucking Army. I regret that shit to this day.
That was one of my. I'm sorry, I was one of them propaganda babies. You had the fucking GI Joe. You had cops. I wanted to live a life of adventure, do something different outside this fucking ill-gotten city.
Dog, I was pissed off about 9/11.
Yeah,
I was all ready to sign up for the program and shit. The train you up for a year before your basic training start. I think I was ready to go.
And see, people. I'm glad you brought up 9/11. People don't know how pissed off millennials were. We were pissed. You coming over here to do what, nigga? You want to see the most united the United States ever been? Go back to 9/11. A nigga was a white man's friend. Am I lying?
Hey, I've been telling white people for years. Hey, you don't see black people doing that shit.
Yep. I said, look, I'll tell you the same thing my father told me. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. Ain't nobody gonna take care of your black ass. And if somebody does take you to the side and teach you shit, you better be ever so fucking grateful. Because it may never fucking happen again.
Hey, like the man said, man, you only get one time around this bitch.
One time.
You only get one shot at this shit. So I
You
keep
fuck it up.
nudging my son every now and then. Every now and then I go to my son, hey man, what do you think about the Coast Guard? Hey man, police department hiring. Starting off with this. Hey man, I told him because he worked at Amazon. I told him, I said, look, they got the robotics training programs. Look into that shit.
My boy's stepson. He was, let's just say it, let's keep it funky and black pill. He was a lazy motherfucker. He got into that robotic program. That motherfucker making good money. Moved out, traveling around the country. Guess what? Don't listen to me. I tell people. Like, I'm at the point right now, even when I fail, I'm succeeding. I told Shorty who I'm talking to at PG. She got a nice big old house. I said, if you marry me and I get which I'm going to get my fucking 100% disability, you know, like goddamn hell, you don't pay property tax if you're 100% disability. No property tax on your fucking mortgage. Gonna tell me not to join a white man's military. Shit, Christmas Addicts told me it wasn't no white boys military. Y'all was scared.
Half the fucking Black Panthers was fucking Vietnam veterans.
Yeah.
People seem to forget about that shit.
Half were PhDs, the other half were Vietnam veterans. And most of them got
Geronimo
their
Pratt,
PhDs.
anybody?
Exactly. You want to tell me, what about the Deacons of Defense? Motherfuckers who protected Dr. King and other civil rights leaders. Or fucking Korean War vets.
Yeah. I mean, again, who are you listening to? What do they have to offer?
Exactly. If a motherfucker know more than me and they broke it than me, then guess what? Consensus say they don't know shit. Keep listening to dumb motherfuckers. I tell black people all the time, keep listening to dumb motherfuckers. Keep listening to these dumb motherfuckers. I can literally, the day I choose to just give up shit, I can literally just say, fuck Baltimore, go to some third world country, take my fucking money. I'll say, guess what? I'm gone. Hell, you only need like what, $1,000 to live good a month in fucking Costa Rica. If that, if that. I'm saying, man, too many.
I mean, I'm saying, they told us in the 90s, go to college, nigga. It's the only way you're going to make money, nigga. And all of those people that listened to that shit in the 90s and the early 2000s are the very ones complaining about the student loan debt.
That's what Shorty complaining
All
about.
you niggas, all you tech bros and all you motherfuckers out there bitching and complaining about student loan debt. Listen, you know what the military people ain't bitching about? Fucking debt.
Nope. I got 48 months to use for education.
They got their big ass house in the suburbs, 2,200 square feet. Got a nice lawn and shit.
Mm-hmm.
2-car garage. And young black man, stop playing, man. Do whatever the fuck you got to do, my nigga. What else are you doing? You stuck in the fucking community doing what?
Doing dumb shit. And then guess what? You got a pro-military and pro-vet president and administration.
Yeah. And they cleaning shit up. Now you ain't got to deal with all this fucking LGBTQ shit no more.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how advanced the VA became? I could literally go to the emergency room and I'm staying with her 15 minutes.
And that's just a start because the VA got a lot of work to do. It can get a lot better.
Oh, a lot better. But
The VA should be the one of the greatest medical facilities in the world.
It should be. Think about it, right? What's up, Nino? How you been, brother? Long time no see. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that shit. At one time, I went to the ER. It took 2 hours to see the doctor, or even see the charge nurse. I went the last time to the ER. 15 minutes. If that. And God knows, unless you're a gunshot victim, John Hopkins, you waiting. You know? You know? See, this branch in the woods. See, they treat me pretty damn well. See, the problem with a lot of people is, you got to go to a major city. I tried to tell this one chick I was talking to in North Carolina. I told her come here for 2 weeks. We get your shit started. Hard headed to the motherfucker. You had issues with your son, and you had him on base. Easy, 100%. And you work from home too, on the computer. You could have been on my goddamn desk. You could have been on my goddamn desk working, and I could have sent your paperwork out. Only thing you had to do was show up for the appointment because I can't do your appointment. But guess what? Don't listen to your boy. Don't listen to me like I don't know shit. A lot of niggas don't want to hear it.
I mean, again, what are you doing? Sitting in your fucking mother's house listening to her shit?
You could be going to see the world.
What are
Oh,
you
I don't
doing in
want.
your fucking life? Same old niggas and the same old shit.
I don't want my baby to go to war, but you allow them to be in a fucking violent ass neighborhood, right?
Go ahead and get your 30-year mortgage now. Do that shit while you're 20. You're 20, 21, do your 4 years in the military. Go ahead and get that fucking housing loan. You'll be done at 55, maybe sooner.
Probably sooner. Remember that one chick in Baltimore? She had 3 sons. All 3 of them died.
Yeah.
That's the only future you really have in this fucking black community, especially if you're in a single mother home.
Or working some shit job.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to get into the federal system, the easiest way is being a vet.
And that's what I'm saying. It's more opportunities than back in the day. This ain't 1998 no fucking more. All types of fucking government fucking jobs you can get out here. All type of fucking clearances and shit you can get.
Man. But guess what? Niggas so worried about pussy.
It's like the same thing. It's like I was thinking the other day. So I saw some shit come across my feed. Some black chick was talking about how chicks go through all this detective shit when it come to want to see if that nigga cheating and shit. And I'm like, yo, if you such a fucking detective, go join the police department.
But they won't. They lazy as shit. Here.
Why do you have all these sleuths? Why do you turn into fucking Matlock and Columbo and shit when it comes to a nigga checkpoint?
You know, turn to Kojak and shit.
Go be a damn detective for all that and get paid.
They turn into Joe Friday and fucking Kojak all of a sudden.
Oh, God damn.
And see, here's the fucked up part. You know, my godson, who I trained to do armed security, his wife, because he married the chick, she's only like 19, 20. She's supposed to be going to the Air Force. We looked at the BAH. Me and my father laughed because we already know about military chicks, but hey, we hoping for the best for him. I said, first of all, why you hoping and hollering for her joining the military? Why didn't you do it? You trying to live off her benefits? That's if she even go. That's if she even qualify. Why don't you go? I said, I think it's so ass backwards when a grown ass man is jumping and hollering off of what a chick has. You don't do that because here's the part about females. Females are all did any do to tell you every female is what? She's a victim of her options. Mm. Older men told me a female can love your dirty drawers and still marry a man better than you.
There's two types of men in this world. I saw this in a movie one time. This chick said, my mother used to tell me there's two types of men in the world. It's the men you're crazy about, then it's the men you marry.
Mm-hmm. She is not going to set her stability. There are so many. That's why when Media Man had those chicks, the nurse, the flight attendant, the military chick, I said add cops and firefighters. They all hold jobs. As soon as the chick become in the police department, she got about 5 bodies on the same shift. There's females I know who fucked about 3 to 5 dudes on the same shift, if not more. How you gonna fuck? At least go to another shift in the goddamn district. I appreciate that, Nino. Always love for you, man. Always love. You gotta hit me up. You got too many times brothers are looking for the chick to be their salvation. Nah, nigga, be your own hero. Be your own hero. But then you get mad when that chick is doing some fugazi shit. When that chick is on some fugazi shit, you gotta be faithful to you first. Waiting on your wife's benefits. Nigga, what you gonna do if she divorce you?
Facts.
You always supposed nigga stop marrying out of love and marry out of contingency. The first and foremost, when you go through your first major heartbreak, you supposed to be hard cold as an assassin. Stop looking for a chick to fucking serve you. Start looking for chicks to serve you, not you to serve them.
Stop
That's what I
being
got to
content with
say.
getting
That
your
again.
stop being content with getting your dick wet.
Exactly. A lot of niggas got married just for fucking reliable pussy. I'm sorry. I'm too much of a competitor. I tell people I'm an arrogant fucker. Give me a bitch who like bitches. No, I can't deal with no chick like that. That's because you're not a winner. I make chicks who I make the biggest studs wear dresses by the time I see them. I'm an arrogant bastard like that. I'm sorry. You got to blame Charles and Loretta for that shit. Sorry. My mother and father laugh to this day. You made me this mother. You made me this goddamn intelligent. I put your money to fucking good use in that private school. Don't get mad. That's why all these chicks say, "Oh, your arrogance is so it can be so stuffy." But what's one of the most attractive things about personality? Your arrogance. Pick a struggle. I like mine. Too bad. Where, like you said, worrying about getting your dick wet. Nigga, you better worry about if you got a place to stay in the next 10 years.
Hmm.
You better worry about if you got a fucking pension. Never seen a bunch of fucking group of fucking 20-year-olds afraid to go for a life of adventure, afraid to go mess with one girl, two girls, three girls. Oh, I don't want to be lonely. Nigga, you're 20. You're 21. You're supposed to be traveling the fucking world on a fucking aircraft carrier or a C-130. The fuck out of here. Like, I'm convinced black mothers have made their sons losers. If you don't have God-given talent to play a fucking sport and to make millions of dollars, you're just gonna be a fucking loser.
Hey Charles, I gotta finish up my night, man. It was nice talking to you.
All right, man. Always a pleasure, brother. I'm about to shut it down anyway. All right, fellas, ladies and gents. Woo! And guess what, people? We are out.